battle. And Danny Murphy, that's what this is here tonight at the London Stadium. There's a lot of empty seats around, but it is already, you can say it, it's a relegation battle.
Yeah, I think you're right. The start from West Ham has been really poor. Obviously, hence the change of manager. Huge game for them in so many ways. Good result and a good performance can kickstart their season, can just start building that relationship between Nuno and the supporters. I think the need's greater for West Ham than it is for Brentford, if I'm honest.
And what about Brentford? Because Keith Andrews has got this reputation as a set-piece coach. The long throws are already in place. That's their identity. What else have they got? 3 at the back, big midfield with Jordan Henderson, key in there as well. What do you make of what he's done so far?
I think he's done okay. They've had some really good performances, been a mixed bag on the road. They've struggled a bit, but at home they've done really well. And I think they've got some real pace high up the pitch, which causes teams problem. They know their strengths, they don't overplay. So credit to him, he's lost a lot of good players, and there's big shoes to fill for Keith Andrews to come in replacement of Thomas Frame. So far, I think they've done okay, and he deserves a bit of credit. But I've just got a feeling there's going to be a long, hard season for them. They do look vulnerable in most games they play to concede chances. So interesting to see how they do tonight. Really intrigued about the game.
Well, it's a £50 million strike force, you're right. Thiago, 4 in 7, has really done well after his long-term out with injury after signing the Brazilian. And Schade, just 1 goal this season, the German, £22 million. Teams are in the tunnel, waiting to come out. Jarrod Bowen at the front of the line for West Ham United. And if you're Jarrod Bowen, Danny Murphy, how are you feeling? Because the pressure is on you. You have to deliver. You're the main man in this side, comfortably the best player in this team.
Yeah, I think with that responsibility, sometimes it can enhance your performance, and I think with him it does. Over a period of time now, he's been their best player, and I think it's fair to say that he's risen to the challenges over and over again. Tremendous goal threat, great on the counter, someone who causes problems to nearly everybody he plays against. I mean, you'd wonder where they'd be without him. Tonight's a big night for him, especially with no out-and-out striker. But I don't expect him to fail this club. He never does. He's a terrific talent, and they're lucky to have him.
Well, they'd be in the Championship without him, I think it's fair to say. The bubble machine has thrown some bubbles in the air. They sang I'm Forever Blowing Bubbles, and they made a noise as well, and a big cheer right at the end as the pyro was going off too. So the fans that are in the stadium, and I'll repeat, there definitely are some empty seats around the London Stadium tonight. You can spot them. They've done nothing to hide them, by the way. They're all white.
Do you think it might be an idea to play that song when they're coming out of the tunnel?
Well, I'm wondering why there is a delay, because it's 3 minutes to 8 o'clock. We're wondering why the teams are coming out a little bit late. I could see West Ham in the tunnel. I couldn't necessarily see all the Brentford players in the tunnel. So still, we wait. And we'll just try and find out if there is any kind of delay for any particular reason. Are they waiting for the fans to come in the stadium, Danny, do you think?
No, it's starting to fill up. I think maybe Brentford, they're out now. You can see them ready to go. So here they come.
Here they come. Jarrod Bowen leads out West Ham United, and Brentford on their way out as they finally make it down the tunnel. And here come the teams onto the iconic carpet, onto the turf, as we bring you live exclusive Premier League football on a Monday night on Talksport. 2 of the bottom 5. It's a relegation 6-pointer. West Ham have lost every home game. Brentford have lost every away game. West Ham take on Brentford, live and exclusive on Talksport. And here's your commentary team. Former England midfielder Danny Murphy alongside your commentator on Talksport, Sam Matface.
Thank you very much, Adrian. Yes, it's never really felt much like home. Since they moved in 9 years ago, the place has been begrudgingly theirs. The owners and the fans have tried to improve its appearance. They've spent £250,000 just to install that claret carpet that Adrian has been talking about. They renamed the stands after iconic greats Moore, Brooking and Bonds, but it's not theirs, and it's not a football stadium. And the promise of Champions League football, like the bubbles pumped onto the pitch before kick-off, has faded and died. That's why those that are in attendance tonight are different to those who are usually in attendance. A protest, a boycott, damaged by the club's response to offer kids for £1 on all the reselled tickets, has lacked a little bit of coordination, a bit like the team that have lost all 3 home games. But the fans love this club and they want more. It would be a new low if they lost here tonight. The Hammers have never begun a league campaign with 4 successive home defeats. And Brentford's players themselves appear to protest when they leave the bus stop in Hounslow. Their travel sickness has become a feature of the season, but Brentford have enjoyed more Premier League wins over West Ham than they have against any other side. And a win tonight takes them 13th and above Newcastle United. Only the most thumping of wins gets West Ham out of the relegation zone. West Ham's team is a slightly strange one, maybe down to the fact that they've been able to work with Nuno Espirito Santo during the course of the international break. Areola is the goalkeeper, 5 changes to the outfield. Walker-Peters is one of those, he's a right back. Todibo, Kilman and Scarles are the back 4. Then it's Souček and Irvin, the 2 holders in midfield, with Bowen, Paquetá, Fernandes and Somerville. Brentford have Kelleher in goal, Ayer, Vandenberg and Collins as the back 3. Coyote and Ouattara the wing backs, Henderson, Yarmouk and Damsgaard behind Thiago and Sharda in attack. If you're wondering who's playing up top for West Ham United, you aren't the only one. All the fans in here scratching their heads as to why there is no out-and-out forward with Callum Wilson on the bench tonight. No Malik Diouf at left back this evening either. And Andy Madley is taking charge with the whistle. Jared Gillett is the VAR. But due to the impact of today's global AWS outage, you might well have experienced this if you've been using Snapchat, Danny, today.
No, I know about it, but I haven't been using
Roblox.
Snapchat.
No. OK, this evening's match is going to begin without the use of semi-automated offside technology. If required, the VAR will use virtual offside lines, as in previous seasons, to determine an offside decision. If it becomes available during the game, it will be implemented when appropriate. Slightly different.
Hinge wasn't affected, was it? That'd mess me up.
I didn't want to bring it up. As you can tell, Danny
spoiled my evening.
Danny Murphy is here. And by the way, if you want to download the Talksport app, you can swipe left and right for Talksport and Talksport 2. Talksport is where you'll find Danny Murphy. Give him a like and you never know what can happen. There's no room for racism. That's the campaign that the Premier League are getting behind and activating this week. That's why all 22 players take the knee to try and reinforce the message that there is no room for any prejudice of any kind, and we echo those sentiments. We're off and underway with Brentford in light blue attacking the goal away to our left. It's claret shirts and white shorts for West Ham, who immediately, after winning the ball, go on the attack with Somerville. He accelerates at pace down the right-hand side, finds Paquetá, looks for the return, and then it's bumped behind by the retreating defender Jordan Henderson, getting back to help out his back 4 and nudged out for the first corner of the game inside the first 30 seconds of the match.
Brilliant counter. Brilliant from the front 3. Paquetá, Somerville and Bowen linking up. Really good, because obviously Brentford had the kick-off and tried to go long. It was really clever.
Well, the first corner of the game, and we know about the threat that Brentford had from set pieces, is going to be taken by Irvin, in the team for the first time since February from the start. Sends the ball to the back post, it's half-headed away. Somerville retrieves it on the left side of the box. It's back in by Paquetá, glanced away by Walker-Peters, then picked up on the right-hand side where it's collected by Irvin. Now Bowen has it in the penalty area, turning and twisting and getting the crosser into the box. Ayer puts it behind. It's another corner for West Ham, who have started positively, despite the fact that there are a lot of white empty seats visible inside the London Stadium tonight. Corner kick taken left side. Irvin's last delivery went over the head of Caoimhin Kelleher in the Brentford goal. And again, it goes deep towards the far post, and it's glanced behind and away by Sharda. And actually, he had no one behind him, and he could have let that go out for a goal kick, but he didn't get a shout. It had beaten Kelleher again, who had got trapped on his goal line and a little bit too close to Max Kilman. And it goes out the other side and away for another corner, Danny.
Yeah, it was actually the right thing to do. If you're not sure, put your head on it, regroup, defend the next one.
This one from the other side, and again Andy Irvin is given the responsibility, left-footed. He floats this one towards the penalty spot. It goes straight to Jordan Henderson. His chest trap isn't effective. He manages to try and shepherd the ball out wide towards the right, but Ouattara can't get it clear, and West Ham have it back again, edge of the penalty area. They retreat to halfway. Walker-Peters plays it left, and then Irvin sees it back to Areola, who replaced Hermansen after just 4 games of the season. And he kicks long towards Paquetá, who tries to win a header and then chase that header into the corner, but despite getting above Ollie Scarles, above the defender on the left-hand side, Nathan Collins. It goes out of play and away for a goal kick away to our right. 0-0.
Interesting to see the Brentford lineup. Looks like a back four with Ayer on the left back, I should say. We thought they'd go with a 3. Looks like a 4-3-3 with Sharda on the left, Ouattara on the right.
Slight shift in formation. They've done that actually over the course of the season.
They have,
earlier in the campaign, they went to a 4. And they retreated into 5s against Manchester United and against Manchester City. Keith Andrews, quite a flexible coach. He knows that he has had to come up with alternative ways of approaching matches in the absence of key personnel departing in the summer. It was a very different Brentford he took over to the one that he was the set-piece coach for last season. Ball out towards the far side. West Ham in possession deep inside their own half. It's forward by Kilman to the halfway line. A little touch, a dab by Somerville. Does well. Brings Paquetá into play. He steams through the centre of the pitch and goes up towards the midpoint of the opponent's half. He gets to the edge of the area and gives it back towards the edge of the box. And Matheus Fernandes then tried to lay that off to Paquetá. The second attempt, it didn't quite come off, and it was cleared by Brentford, who have it now on halfway. And Igor Thiago is breaking down the right. Coyote, I think he's down over on the far side, but Ouattara is continuing here. Sharda into the penalty area, left-hand side. Oh, it was a weak effort. I think he was stretching and miskicked it. It went out of play. But there's a serious problem over on the far side for Coyote, who is down after a collision. And the play continued around him. And he wants some treatment, and he's still yet to get it.
Great start to the game, end-to-end stuff. It was West Ham breaking first and foremost. Fernandes, he played the wrong ball. He played Paquetá on the right. He had 2 options on the left. He had Bowen and Somerville, and they had man over. He didn't get his head up. Bowen wasn't best pleased, and then they broke away, Brentford. And Sharda, you expect him. We've seen him in that position many times. Inside left position, getting inside the box. Can't wrap his foot round it. Poor finish, really, from him. I like him. I think he's a super talent. Very open start, though.
Yeah, open start to the game. Kevin Sharda, who has already scored once this season. 1 goal in 9 Premier League appearances either side of the summer. He got 12 goals last campaign. He had the best chance of this game so far, stretching and sending it into the side netting. Already, Brentford warming up Rico Henry down in front of us, away to our left. A little bit concerned about Coyote, who is a key weapon for them because long throws, big part of the game now. He takes them for Brentford. He's taken 30 long throws into the box, 10 more than any other player in the Premier League.
The other thing that's interesting, you look at West Ham, Walker-Peters left back, Scholes at right back. I thought we expected it to be the other way, didn't we?
Yeah, well, Ollie Scholes usually plays left back. It's his position, so for him to play on the right-hand side seems a little bit strange.
Well, I mean, really, you've got both fullbacks playing the wrong side. Sometimes I've played under managers who have done that in teams I've played, where they like a right-footed left-back to deal with a winger that comes inside and vice versa on this side, but I'm not sure about that. It's just square pegs in round holes to a degree.
I've seen Scholes play both sides before, but he is predominantly left-sided. He's definitely left-footed, and he doesn't play very often on the right-hand side, but he is today. He's up over the halfway line now, and he's got the ball at his feet down in front of us here. It's played through the legs of Souček. Lovely touch by Matheus Fernandes to find Paquetá in the pocket of space behind the Brentford defence. He twists away from Yarmulke and then plays it back to Souček, whose long, rangy body leans towards Bowen and pokes the ball forward. It's a cross that almost reached Asensio Somerville, but was a bit behind him as he tried to twirl away into the 6-yard box. It goes behind now for a goal kick away to our right, but that's probably the best bit of football we've seen.
Well, and the one thing there, when Bowen comes in on that left foot and puts the cross in, is West Ham had good numbers in the box. Fernandes has got himself in there, Paquetá was in there, Somerville, who did appeal for a corner actually, but it wasn't given, but it was good. Always good when a player looks up to have options, runners in the box.
I can't work out whether birds above our head or bats. Either way, they look rather menacing as they fly under the floodlights above our head here at the London Stadium, which is, again, rather eerily quiet. And I often do this when I come here, take my headphones off just to see what the noise is like. And it's just like a bit of a murmur inside the stadium. There are a lot of empty seats.
I mean, it's hard not to come here and feel a little bit negative about it. The only caveat to that, of course, is that we tend to come here when West Ham don't win games, and I haven't really been here enough times to experience any particular good moments for them. So
there was a couple of thumping games here. Go back to the Europa League campaign and the Conference League campaign. Some big nights in this stadium then, but few and far between, I'm afraid, as they come forward. Brentford down the right-hand side. Coyote back in the team, sends the ball back towards the far post, and Shardosh reaches for a header, hends it back across the face of goal, and it's grabbed out of the sky by Areola and cleared away. You're listening to West Ham 0, Brentford 0 on Talksport with Sky Sports, and don't forget that with Now you can stream all the Sky Sports action flexibly, like West Ham Brentford live right now. Search Now Sports.
It was good from Ouattara coming in on that left foot. That's why he wants the right-footed left back there. Same on this side. Shardo right foot, Scholes left foot. It's an interesting one. I remember many years ago Martin Yole did it, I think, at Man City, and he put I think it was Chris Baird who was our right back, put him left back. I think it was to deal with David Silva. Brought him down after 5 minutes, give a penalty away. I think it was
best
in the
laid plans and all that.
Exactly.
Here is Coyote again, moving forward on the right-hand side, a bit better than he has been recently, towards the far post. Sharda with a header, it loops towards the far post to the other side of the 6-yard box and loops over the top of the crossbar and goes out and away for a goal kick. But Coyote getting a little bit of space over on that right-hand side. And I think with Ouattara darting into an advanced position and Walker-Peters having to try and look after him, that gives a little bit of extra space for Coyote to get down the outside.
Well, it does, only if Somerville doesn't track. Somerville's got to get back with him. He can't expect one of the central midfielders to get out to him. Or if he does, they've got to tell him that much quicker than they did.
Bowen played in by Somerville. Coyote across on the edge of the D to turn it away for Brentford. West Ham's attack is short-lived. Brentford have it back once more. 10 minutes gone. It's 0-0 on Talksport. Collected by Yarmouk, who's been pretty impressive this season. But one back by Souček very well. Aya then dives in, gives the ball away to Fernandez. He's 25 yards from goal. He's going to crack this into the chest of Collins. And it goes behind and away after the deflection for a corner kick on this near side. But there was a little bit of tenacity about the West Ham midfield there. Souček wiring into a challenge. Fernandez doing well too. Somerville putting pressure on a defender, and it ended with a shot on goal from Matías Fernandez.
He's nice and sharp, Fernandez. I thought the pass was on, but it's nothing wrong sometimes just trying to get one out your feet early doors, but he was sharp onto it. He's got good legs, good energy, likes to get forward.
Here is the opportunity from the corner, which Irvin will take in towards Scholes, whose left-footed delivery goes towards the far post. It was actually quite some way wide of the top corner where the ball appeared to be aiming from this sort of angle, but you could tell by the reaction of Caoimhin Kelleher it was nowhere near troubling the goal away to our right. 0-0 the score. West Ham, who did sort of surprise us with the team selection, have Scholes at right back, the centre halves Jean-Claire Todibo and Max Kilman. Away on the left-hand side is Carl Walker-Peters. The midfield is interesting. Irvin and Souček are the ones sitting deep, and then it is that quartet of Bowen on the right, Fernandez almost on the left, with Somerville and Paquetá playing as almost 2 10s in the middle of the park for West Ham United. Henderson has it for Brentford inside their territory, 10 yards short of the halfway line. Out to Coyote. Igor Thiago went running down the middle of the pitch, but the invitation to play in him was declined, and then when the ball did come forward, it was easily eaten up by West Ham. Irvin has turned it into Paquetá, centre field, right on the centre spot. He plays it wide to the right. Now Bowen's got it, a couple of yards in from the touchline. West Ham in possession and on the lookout for an attack here. They just slow up slightly, go back to halfway and look to build again. Certainly didn't get the easiest of starts handed to him, Nuno Espirito Santo, with away trips to Everton and to Arsenal. But the first home game here tonight could prove to be a platform on which to build. Areola sends it long, right up towards Souček, beaten in the air by Collins. It's sent down the left and Kevin Sharda is chasing. He gets in front of Todibo and then didn't get hold of the ball.
That's a problem for West Ham. This is going to be a problem. He's so much quicker than Scholes. Scholes saw him do the opposite movement and still couldn't match it. Todibo did well actually in spotting the danger and covering, but that's going to be a big weapon for Brentford if they can get the ball out here to the left side.
Well, the thing they did against Manchester United, and similarly today actually, is the fact that they left a lot of the time, they left the three right up against what was a back three of Manchester United. It's a back four today for West Ham. And that meant that any ball over the top, they fancied themselves in a foot race. And I think they probably will do today as well. Here is Irvine in midfield, winning the ball for West Ham, sending it back to Todibo. Then it's square to Kilman, who's being pursued by Thiago. Thiago did enough to sort of put him off, but Somerville is waiting for the delivery from Walker-Peters from the left-hand side. Didn't quite come, so it went infield to Irvine instead. Now out to Scarles. Now it's with Somerville, wearing gloves tonight. Into Irvine, the Scot coming forward through the legs of the defender by Bowen to keep things moving. Edge of the area now is Matheus Fernandes, and he just tried to touch too many, and Yarmulke picked his pocket and charged up towards halfway. And now they turn defence into attack here, Brentford. And Henderson, whose 2 assists this season have come from long raking passes forward, decides to go short and backwards and to keep the ball moving and to keep Brentford on the front foot. 0-0.
It's good that from Somerville. He tracked Henderson all the way back. Nice and bright in terms of their work ethic and filling in holes. It's a decent start for both teams, really. Both look at it.
Two teams' first deployment after the international break. The international break, which saw a lot of their squads go off to different pastures around the world. A lot of the players that went on international duty for West Ham on the bench tonight. Here's Yarmulke of Brentford in possession. It's always strange seeing a team play in light blue with little dabs of claret at West Ham. Weird, especially if it's Brentford. Ball sent forward looking long for Thiago. Good ball by Damsgaard, who picked him out. He lays it off to the right. Coyote with the effort to get it into the centre. The header from Ouattara is not a clean one. It falls to Schade, left side of the box, and now it's retrieved by Ayer. Ayer into Damsgaard, back again to Schade. Schade comes towards the left-hand side, and Henderson then keeps things moving. Damsgaard forward, Schade into the box, so it's ricocheted off of Bowen and Irvine, and eventually Andy Irvine comes away with the ball, but then almost gave it away to Jordan Henderson, who wanted a throw-in on this near side as he poked the ball forward. It didn't quite come off for him, and it's out for a throw-in to West Ham United instead, 0-0.
Just got to be careful with Coyote. He's got free again there, and Walker-Peters had to go out to him late. So if Fernandes is going to play that role just tucked in off the left, he's going to have to be more disciplined when Brentford have possession. I know he wants to go in centrally because that's where he plays, and if he gets caught too inside, then Walker-Peters is going to be he's going to have two players at times, and he obviously doesn't want that. Oh dear.
Oh, giving the ball away cheaply, West Ham, and Schade almost got hold of it. Again, then it's Yarmulke who overhits his pass forward. It's cut out eventually by Somerville, and then Somerville nudges it to Paquetá, and it goes out of play because that was too heavy, and West Ham lose possession and hand it back to Brentford once again. We played 16 minutes. You're listening to Talksport. Tomorrow morning when you wake up, Ray Parlour is alongside Jeff Stelling from 6 a.m. Some stellar guests on tomorrow morning as well, and includes some big names from around the sporting world: Bradley Wiggins, Robbie Savage, Lee Westwood, Barry Bannon, Matt Le Tissier, Nicky Hawkins and Adrian Durham tomorrow morning. Looking forward to that from 6 o'clock. Here is Sepp Vandenberg out to the right, where it's Collins getting it back to Henderson and then all the way back to Quevin Kelleher. If anyone knows how to get a win over Brentford, it should be Nuno Espirito Santo. He has already beaten Brentford in the Premier League this season, winning 3-1 with Nottingham Forest on the opening day of the season. That still represents Forest's only win of the campaign so far. Game now at walking pace. Collins strolls up to the midpoint of his own half. The Brentford centre-back. Played to the left now, Damsgaard dropping into a full-back position. Ayer forward, onto Schade. Schade looking to try and take on Todibo. Todibo just a little bit too quick of thought for him.
Did well,
nudges the ball across.
Covered well. What's interesting with West Ham there, you watch that little passage of play for a couple of minutes, is that they're happy to wait for Brentford to come onto them to win it back and then break and counter. At home, maybe you'd expect some managers to really try and get on the front foot, but the manager knows, Nuno knows they're vulnerable. He knows they're open. And they're not very good at that. They're not good at the high press. They get played through too easily. They need a result. So I quite admire that patience and discipline. They can continue it.
First long throw of the game for Michael Coyote, who launches that into the near post. It's flicked away by Souček. It's back in by Damsgaard. It drops inside the box, and Igor Thiago reacts quickest, tries to hook it goalwards, but I wonder whether or not a high foot was called there. And it goes out for a free kick to West Ham United, away to our left-hand side. But Coyote, long throws are part of the game now, we know that, but Brentford are really exponents of the art. That was a long torpedo towards the edge of the 6-yard box. It did eventually cause chaos.
Yep, well, I was playing around the time the best thrower of the ball we've ever seen was Rory Delap.
Yep.
And that was difficult. Didn't matter how many big defenders, you could have 4 guys who are 6'2 plus, still cause you, what a ball that nearly was.
Well, the ball dropped for Bowen, and he swiveled and hit it very quickly forward, looking to release Somerville through the middle. It didn't quite come off because it was well blocked by the Brentford defence, but the speed of thought from Bowen and the swiftness of his movement almost caught out the Brentford backline. 19 minutes gone, still 0-0. Ball played wide out towards the right. Across goes Schade to get there, ahead of Scholes, who wasn't quick enough to get up, and then he's been done by Schade, and he's moved the ball upfield. It's given away by Damsgaard. Paquetá's got it back because Tadibo anticipated well. Now Bowen down the right tries to splash a ball through the 6-yard box, but it was never troubling Kelleher. In fact, it goes out the other side and away for a throw-in down by the corner flag. But a quick turnover after Scholes had lost the ball because Damsgaard miscontrolled. Tadibo was in there very quickly, put West Ham back on the front foot, and Bowen, well, he doesn't hang around.
No, it was good again from Tadibo, wasn't it? On the front foot, nice and sharp, winning the ball back, set them off on another attack. Just prior to that, though, we saw again that Scholes, if he gets too close to Schade, he's going to be in trouble, whether it be deep or higher up the pitch, but we'll see how that goes.
Moving forward now, tries to funnel the ball into Thiago. Thiago sent a little bit wide by that delivery, but he's got it back to Dongo Ouattara, who's in the box for Brentford on the right-hand side. He gets to the byline, produces a cross. It's clipped into the air. It took a deflection, and that allowed Kilman to get hold of it and head it away. Schade felt he was nudged over at the far post. Referee not having any of it, but it has gone out for another throw-in. And here comes another Coyote catapult. His 32nd long throw of the season.
It was a good ball from Aya, wasn't it? Trying to pick out Thiago.
They've had 4 shots so far, Brentford. Only 1 has hit the target. West Ham yet to have an effort on target in the game, and we've played 20 minutes. Here's this long throw then to be taken by Coyote, far side. They've packed the near post here. There's a huge block of players. The ball goes into that area. It's flicked up. It's a half punch by Areola. Didn't get much on it, but Paquetá will mop up and take it wide towards the left. Souček is down because he's got a head injury. The game has been stopped by Andy Madley, and there's going to be treatment for the West Ham United Czech international, and he does need treatment because his head is streaming with blood.
That's what the referees do, isn't it? Stop it when there's a head injury.
Are you still moaning about yesterday? Are you? There were 7 seconds between that incident where Van Dijk managed to connect with the back of the head of McAllister, his teammate.
No, to be honest with you,
the goal went in.
To be honest, joking aside,
let's play on, wasn't it?
I thought they should have defended that much better. And I'm actually someone who thinks we have too many stoppages for players going down, pretending they've hurt their head, or, so occasionally if they let it go on and get it wrong, it's not the end of the world. But he's Souček here, of course, you can just see he gets one. Oh, it's the back of his head, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
Ouattara,
right on top of his eye, and that's caused him a real issue. Tomorrow night, by the way, what a couple of games we got for you. Villarreal against Manchester City is on Talksport 2. Newcastle against Benfica tomorrow night. What a match that is. Jose against the team that Bobby Robson managed, and there's a little bit of affection there from Jose Mourinho.
Are you doing one of them?
I'm going to Newcastle versus Benfica tomorrow,
Yeah, I'll watch that one. Sorry.
Looking forward to it. Frankfurt versus Liverpool in the Champions League is Wednesday nights, offering and Monaco Tottenham the same time, and bumper day on Thursday. Go ahead Eagles Aston Villa at 2, Talksport 2 at 5:45. Nottingham Forest Porto with maybe a new manager in charge by then. We'll find out. Crystal Palace against Larnaca is on Talksport 2 at 8 o'clock that night. Friday night, Leeds against West Ham. We're looking forward to that one. Ellen Road, under the lights.
Bouncing.
Big game for Leeds United after defeat to Burnley. Much better at home than I think they're going to be away from home this season, but they're going to have to contend with West Ham. By the way, if you're wondering why we're not bringing you any action, there isn't any. There's been a delay here because of the head injury, which is quite severe, to Thomas Souček. The good news is that Thomas Souček is a bit like a cyborg. Once you've plugged him back in and rearranged the circuits, he'll just get on with it.
Reminds me of a man sat very close to you.
Durham? Well,
Joe, on a serious note, once I got done with an elbow on a cheekbone. I don't know if I've told you before, we were playing Villa away.
Because that's what this is, isn't it? It's a massive.
Yeah.
His cheekbone has blown up quite big. He's got a swollen eye. He's got some stitches that have just been put in.
Well, I had
quickly.
a decision to make to stay on there, and I got to the side of the pitch, and the doc said to me, "I've got to staple them, but with no anaesthetic." So I was like, "Go on then, giving it the hard case one."
Yeah.
Oh, it was painful.
Did you wish you'd taken something just before?
I should have just come off.
Yeah. Did you come off eventually anyway?
Yeah, but not my choice.
Ah.
I went back on till half time, and then let's not go there. The manager wind me up.
You're dead hard, you. Dead hard. Is that also on your Hinge profile?
Hey. No need.
0-0. This is Talksport. 23 minutes into the game. We're now back underway after the treatment has been given to Thomas Souček. Thiago just, I think, had his shirt pulled there, and maybe a bit Ouattara actually, who had his shirt pulled, but there was definitely an offence over on the far side, and that's yielded a free kick for Brentford. And this is about 8 yards outside the penalty area, wide on the right-hand side. Souček has now come back on. He's a warrior, and he's back into the heart of defence to try and help defend this set piece. Jordan Henderson is standing over it for Brentford. 0-0 so far the score. Left hand in the air. Where would you put this one, Danny?
Well, you want to tease the keeper. Don't put it close enough. But in that corridor between the penalty spot and the 6-yard line, normally would be the gauge.
Well, Collins is up from the back, and it's sent in by Henderson into that area, and Collins does connect with it first time, but it goes over the top of the crossbar and out and away for a goal kick. It's currently West Ham 0, Brentford 0, and for the latest odds you can head to Ladbrokes, where right now you can get West Ham to win the game at 8-5, Brentford 7-4, the draw is 2-1. That's all thanks to Ladbrokes 18+. BeGambleAware.org. I suppose West Ham fans would have come here tonight, the ones that have come here, hoping that the new manager has used that international break to good effect to drill this team in defending, especially from those set pieces, taking stock, getting them primed so they stop conceding goals. But Brentford are coming forward again. They've had more opportunities, and Thiago trying to get the ball into the box, this time a little bit too heavy. Ouattara has to scurry out to the far touchline. He's joined by Coyote, declines the invitation to play him in and gives it to Yarmulke. Now it goes wide again. Coyote has got it now, right edge of the area, looks to get a cross in, then stops, goes back. Ouattara sends it forward. Damsgaard back out to Coyote, back to Ouattara. Good football from Brentford. Still Ouattara in the area, produces a cross, looking for Thiago. Once again, doesn't get there. It's put behind by Souček, and it's out for a corner, far side. Good football by the visitors.
Really good, growing into the game. Their front three look a real threat, don't they? I mean, Ouattara, he's quick, he's got good touch, nice close control. I was talking to, we had Lee Dykes on one of the shows last week, I think it was, and he was speaking very highly of Ouattara, and obviously they've done their work on watching him over a period of time.
Corner kick, far side. Sent in towards the near post. It's missed by Christopher Ayer. Lee Dykes, the technical director of Brentford. Someone who's worked in the recruitment department there for a long time. Friend of the station. Here is Coyote, who's created 3 chances in the game already, which is quite impressive for a right back in the first 27 minutes in an away game.
Well, definitely when you consider the West Ham fullbacks have hardly left home in terms of that shape, which I understand. You know, Nuno wants this team to be more resilient and difficult to beat, so you can't really be asking your fullbacks to bomb too much. But when you think of Wan-Bissaka and Diouf, much more proactive when they've got the ball. They don't have that threat at the moment.
Well, they started off on the front foot, West Ham United, but it's been a long time since they ventured away from their own half of the field, and they've got problems here as Ayer breaks down the left once again into the path of Ouattara. It was a little bit underplayed there by Aya, and that just invited a challenge. But they've got it back again, and Ouattara's going to get hold of this too, and he steered it into Thiago. Back towards Yarmouk. Sharda is the target. Across comes Todibo, edge of the area, and clears it away. But there's more intensity and hunger about the away team at the moment. It's poked forward towards Damsgaard, who can't keep it in on this left-hand side. It was a bit of a hopeful pass out to him anyway by Nathan Collins. But certainly, in the last 10 minutes or so, Brentford have started to take a grip on this game.
They have. They found their feet, more comfortable in what they're doing at the moment.
Throw in deep inside their own territory. Scholes takes it, sends it infield. It's flicked away by Souček, but won again by a Brentford head. Henderson is on the front foot here. Into Sharda, thought he was fouled. Referee says no. Irvin brings it forward, up to Somerville. On the left, Walker-Peters is available. Declines to use him initially. Keeps running Somerville. He's now on the edge of the box. He then goes down after a tangle with Yarmouk. They want a penalty. A one that the referee is declined to give. Now the turnover of possession means that Henderson is away, and there's space on the far side, the right, if they want to use it. It's out to Damsgaard. Brentford cantering up the field. On the right-hand side is Dongo Ouattara. Into the box he goes. Gets it onto his left foot. Tries a shot and goes over the top of the crossbar after a deflection. It's out for a corner. Well, VAR will look at it.
He should have passed it. Somerville. Bowen was on. He just kept hold of it and kept hold of it. He'd run from his own half. Good tight control. The pass is there. No. Not a penalty, not a million years.
The referee said no already, and there is no sustained VAR check. Somerville goes down, probably a little bit too cheaply, and it remains 0-0.
It was a great example of West Ham. I mean, you saw for the first time there, Walker-Peters bombing down that left side, open for a pass as well. And of course, when the transition happened, Ouattara was in space and ended up nearly getting a shot away, which got deflected for the corner Brentford now have.
Nearly half an hour gone, and Brentford with a corner on this near side. West Ham, how have they improved their defending of these set pieces? Into the box it goes. Kilman takes charge. A glancing header which he puts down on the far side. And actually, in any other circumstances, if you commit to a header like that, get it right and send it out for a throw, and you'd be pretty happy with it. And then you see Michael Kayode walking over to pick the ball up, and you think, right, maybe it wasn't as effective as I hoped it had been. Because he knows what's coming now.
Yeah.
From that right side, although they've taken this one short to Henderson. Henderson has given it back to Kayode. His cross into the box is dollied up, flicked, and then onto the back post where Thiago has hit the top of the crossbar. It was flicked on at the near post by Ouattara, and Thiago was coming in at the far post, slid in, connected with it, lifted it high. It hit the top of the crossbar and went over the bar.
Well, they worked the throw in short. Kayode puts in a great ball. Ouattara gets his little skim. He's got a score there. He skims it to the back post. Thiago's waiting on his left foot. Oh, that's a bad miss. That's a bad miss. He's onside as well.
Yeah, he's the leading scorer this season, is Igor Thiago.
Just hit the top of the bar, hasn't it?
He's picked the mantle up from Visser and from... Here they've given the ball away again. Thiago's got it on the edge of the penalty area, and it may well break for Ouattara now. Right side of the box, a back heel into Thiago again. A right-footed shot which is cleared away by Fernandez and helped out of the penalty area. That's poor from West Ham. They're regressing here. Ball into the box again. Damsgaard with a header. He's hit the outside of the post. Well, if Damsgaard is getting up and winning headers inside your penalty area, you've got a problem in the first place. Areola, I think, might have got something on that as it came across. But again, another chance for Brentford, who are knocking at the door here. Good cross into the area, and Damsgaard manages to get a header which forces Areola into action.
Coyote's in too much space too often. It's too easy for them to get crosses, raining crosses in the box. Fernandez has either got to get out there and stop him, or they've got to change the system.
There's a problem here for West Ham because they're giving the ball away cheaply and not getting out their own half. Here's Damsgaard's delivery to the far post, headed down towards Thiago, and he hits the side netting after a deflection. Well, it dropped down off Collins' head at the back post and into Thiago. He thumped it goalwards and it went into the side netting. It's still 0-0, but only because West Ham have been incredibly fortunate and in debt to their goalkeeper, who's made another save.
It's another cross into the box where there's no pressure on the ball. Knocked down from Collins, I think.
Yeah.
Good save from the goal. Well, I actually think it comes off Walker-Peters, but Thiago's had 3 chances in 3 minutes. Could have had a hat-trick.
It's still goalless on Talksport on this Monday Night Football.
Might be Todibo again, actually.
Here's the corner to be taken over on the far side. And Thiago might be the target once again. A bit of a reset after some pushing inside the penalty area. One of the West Ham players has gone down. I think that's Paqueta, who's gone down on the edge of the 6-yard box. The referee, Andy Maddy, just having a word with him. Ayer is at that front post, just pushing and shoving as the ball comes in from Damsgaard. Collins goes round the back, tries to get isolated. Ouattara with a looping header, and it's going towards the far post, and they could take no chances again. And it was glanced behind by Jared Bowen, who didn't know where it was going to drop.
It's a great header because he's so far out. It's an out-swinging corner. Ouattara, I must be, 12 yards away from the goal. Just drops over Bowen's head.
Out for another corner, but it just feels as if Brentford are ramping up the pressure, and it's only a matter of time before they break the deadlock. Into the near post it goes. It goes behind Thiago this time. It went flying in. Out of the penalty area to the other side. But who's first to it? A Brentford shirt. There's not enough urgency about West Ham United here. It's constant Brentford attacking. Here is Coyote. Up to the centre circle. Henderson trying to nudge it back to Collins, who goes all the way back to his goalkeeper. We played 33 minutes here, and so far it's been a bit one-sided. The expected goals total so far, 1.43 for Brentford, 0.03 for West Ham. 13 shots to West Ham's 1 for the away team. 4 shots on target to none. Shots inside the box, 13 from Brentford already in the game. None for West Ham. They've hit the woodwork and had 2 big chances. Really and truly, they bossed this first 45 minutes.
Yeah, the system's working better for Brentford. They're much more comfortable with it. Got the extra man in the middle of the park, but also the full-backs. You've got Bowen and Fernandes, who are not sure when to track and go out wide and when to stay narrow. It's obviously a team in transition with a new manager. You've got to give them a bit of understanding. But that front three of Brentford look really, really dangerous.
Well, Brentford have had a good start to the game that haven't capitalised on their dominance. West Ham have been a little bit ragged at the back and have had serious issues since the start. A couple of early attacks have gone into the distant memory now. It's been pretty much all Brentford in the first 35 minutes that we've had here at the London Stadium. A London Stadium which is getting a little bit restless now, I think, even though there is a lot of people in here tonight, probably around about 40,000, I would think. There's a lot of empty seats, and I don't think that sort of is as visible on television as it will be inside the stadium, because there are lots of pockets of dark claret seats high up in the rafters as well, and lots of white spaces where people should be sitting as well, but there are dark seats that are empty tonight as well. So the boycott has been effective, I think. The noise is nothing more than just a grumble at the moment. Can the West Ham players lift the mood? Well, not at the moment. They can't get out of their own half, Danny Murphy. What has Nuno Espirito Santo got to change here? Because this, at the moment, is going only one way.
Well, I'd be tempted to put Somerville back on the left. It's more natural to him. He knows the position. Fernandes doesn't look comfortable out there. Sometimes he's too narrow. Sometimes he presses. Sometimes he tracks. It looks a bit alien to him playing that role. I'd put him back in a more number 10 role and let the 2 midfielders sit behind him. And then you'd have Bowen on the right, Somerville on the left, let Paqueta leave him behind. Just put players in positions they're more comfortable with. I'd swap the fullbacks as well.
Ouattara trying to get away from Todibo, did well to react after Thiago won the initial header above the West Ham back line. And he flicked it on. Ouattara went darting, but across came Todibo on the cover and puts it out for another long throw. Actually, it's a bit of a surprise that they haven't scored, Brentford, because they are uber efficient when it comes to taking chances. They are ruthless in front of goal. It's not all set pieces and long throws. They've scored a third of their goals from fast breaks, but their conversion rate is very good so far this season. Not tonight. But here's Coyote with another long throw into the near post. Paqueta manages to deal with it and clear it away. It's collected by Henderson. Coyote goes towards the edge of the box, bumped off the ball. And no foul, and now a counter-attack is on. It's being led by Jared Bowen. He's got Fernandes to his left, but he's got 3 Brentford players for company. And Ouattara getting back to help out. Manages to turn the ball back out to this near side in Yarmulke, and it's excellent defending by Brentford. You want that from your teammates, don't you, that work rate?
I think seeing it from a forward player, especially when they've come for big money and you're thinking about, is his ego going to think he's the star man? He took a while to get into the team. Not at all. He's been really good, actually, this first half. Real threat with the ball and that work ethic without. I'm amazed he hasn't tweaked it yet, Nuno. They're really losing a grip on the game.
Henderson with a long raking ball forward. It's a little bit too heavy for Kevin Schade on this occasion as it goes into the night sky. You can see the orbital, which is lit up red, looming over the top of the London Stadium.
Just on West Ham, when you look at their strength, Bowen's their best player, so you want to get him on the ball as much as possible. But you've got a left-footed right back who's a young lad, not that confident on the ball. He's got a big job in terms of who he's marking anyway. He's not giving him any real constant passes or feeding him the ball enough. So that's something you have to look at, because if you don't have Bowen on the ball often enough, you're not going to cause the opposition problems.
Well, the issue also is there's no outlet really for West Ham.
Correct, yeah.
Obviously, we've mentioned that Callum Wilson is on the bench today. Fulkrug injured at the moment. I think the squad building, when you glance down at the replacements that are available, is a little concerning. I mean, look, I don't know what the situation is with James Ward-Prowse and why these two don't get on, Nuno Espirito Santo and the West Ham midfielder, but he has created more chances than any other player in the Premier League for West Ham this season, but yet he's not even in the squad tonight.
It can be misleading because he takes all the set plays, so you can get your numbers up like that. Hence the fact I used to ask to take all the set plays.
they still count though, don't they?
They do, yeah. And it sounds something a bit more than football, doesn't it? But ultimately, the balance is wrong, I think, looking at the team now and the roles he's asked the players to do. I'd be amazed if it wasn't changed at half-time.
I mean, this is a pretty poor performance so far from West Ham United. 5 minutes to go before the break, maybe a little bit of shade over that. A corner for Brentford once again. Damsgaard is going to take this right-footed. It'll be an in-swinger. There's 2 on the goalkeeper, 3 at the back post. They start moving now. Thiago's at the back post. He's headed down, and somehow Ouattara has missed a clear header from inside the 6-yard box. They've missed so many chances. West Ham have been so fortunate not to concede.
Great ball in, great pace. Comes in on the back post. Poor. He's fuming with himself because we know he's better than that. He's just got to head it back towards the goal. Just skims off his head.
Well, if there wasn't a boycott before the match, there might be one at half-time. There is a feel of sort of mutinous behaviour in the air. Header away by Collins. It's dropped down for Ouattara again. It's coming forward again, overhit by Brentford. I think Keith Andrews actually will be fundamentally absolutely gutted that his team haven't got on the score sheet, Danny.
He will, but he'll also be delighted in the fact the balance looks good. The plan's working. They're playing with confidence. They've grown into the game. They weathered that little bit of an early flurry from West Ham. They look the more likely constantly.
So poor from West Ham as Brentford come forward again. Yarmulke being released down the right-hand side after a battle was won in midfield by the Brentford midfield, shrugging off Irvine, and Yarmulke was involved in that, so was Damsgaard. He then went on and got down the right-hand side. They swept and cleaned it up with Carl Walker-Peters, and it goes out for another throw-in. And this one to come from Coyote. They've only scored from one long throw-in this season so far, and that was at the end of the game against Chelsea, and it was a vital equaliser they got from that. Can they get one before half-time here? 41 minutes on the clock. It's 0-0. Into the near post. A flick on by Aya. Comes back to the edge of the area. Missed kick by Yarmulke. A jeer from the crowd. It didn't look pretty. He then manages to get his composure back and send it back towards Aya, who's inside the penalty area. Again, you know, it's okay winning the first ball, the second ball, but they're not winning any balls here, West Ham United. Whenever the ball drops inside the box, it's always a Brentford player who gets there. They want it a little bit more. There's more
just out-muscled
aggressiveness.
Just out-muscled Scholes. He was out-muscled by Aya, who's a huge man. It can happen. It's not just the set plays and the crosses. It's
Here's Damsgaard inside the area from the short corner this time. Gets to the byline, produces a cross, a deep one at the far post. It's headed goalwards. It doesn't quite catch for Ouattara again, who got up there brilliantly. And then it goes out of this penalty area and out the other side, and Coyote tries to make something of it, but he's going laterally rather than forward. It goes back in from Damsgaard. It's helped on by Aya. Schade tries to get there. Kilman just hits it anywhere just to get it away from harm's way, because West Ham are desperate at the moment.
Yeah, they're too often getting overload, especially on the sides, which is why crossing the ball's so easy. And it's all down to the attack. There's too many players not quite sure just yet what their role is.
Ball forward towards the right, looking for Schade. Schade might get there. He does. He gets into the penalty area. Can't come down for him. He sets it back for Thiago. Good save initially by the goalkeeper, and it sneaks in on the rebound off the inside of the post. And Thiago has given Brentford a much-deserved lead. West Ham United have been absolutely pathetic tonight, and Thiago has eventually made them pay. It's their 15th shot of the game, and it's the one that puts Brentford in front. It's been coming since the first 5 minutes of the match, and now Brentford have made the breakthrough.
Fully deserved. Absolutely deserved. Too easy to play into the midfield. No pressure on the ball. Ball in behind. I told you the fullbacks are struggling. Schade gets in behind Walker-Peters, decides to lay it off to Thiago. And just as he hits it, gets a tiny deflection. I don't know if it's off the keeper's hand, actually.
Yeah, it comes off the keeper's hands. That changes the direction of the ball. It then sort of bounces agonisingly towards the goal, hits the inside of the post and goes over the line. The goalkeeper did get something on it and looked as if he saved it, but he used one hand. Did he need to be stronger there?
I'm not sure. I'm not even sure he was going in, but the goal's deserved. He's had a hat full of chances, Thiago, and he gets a bit of luck on that one, but he won't care. Thoroughly deserved the lead. Not sure who played the ball through. It's a terrific ball in behind. That's a weapon for them with the pace they've got. Be looking to play that even more.
All eyes leaning towards David Sullivan, Jack Sullivan, who are sitting in the directors' chairs tonight.
Well, we talked about it before. We were all shocked about the selection. I mean, he's got Wan-Bissaka and Juve, two terrific fullbacks, one-on-one against pace. They'd be playing for me. I don't care where they've been flying in from. And if Somerville's, he's a winger, he's had his best games on the wing. Playing him up front with Paquetá, there's no experience in playing that role regularly. You've got someone on the bench, start him, play round. I always say it, round pegs, round holes, start that way, and then if you have to adapt.
It's been dreadful from West Ham. Here is Damsgaard over on the right-hand side. Now collected by Souček. Kilman forward, headed across by Coyote. There's going to be 6 more painful minutes for the West Ham fans to endure, although most of them have given up, by the way. In fact, actually, 2 supporters came down the stairs alongside us when initially that goal went in, turned to you and waved. I don't think they're coming back.
Probably not. Probably not. I think, look, there's always criticism when a team plays badly, understandably so, and you can see that he's trying to play a certain way and keep them narrow and compact, but they're not sure. Some of the players in the roles they're in aren't sure on it. And when you get 1 or 2 who aren't quite doing it how you want, a good team at this level will play through. They'll find the gaps. I mean, that goal there, the pass out from the back, no pressure on the ball. Midfielder's got time to turn. Great ball in over the top. It's just too simple.
Henderson with a free kick in centre circle, headed down by Collins. It's loose inside the 6-yard box. A West Ham body does get a contact on it and manage to clear it. We have confirmed those 6 minutes of added time. Again, I mean, there's a foul here on Bowen by Sepp van den Berg, which
he switched Somerville and Fernandes, I think. Looks that way.
Well, Somerville's gone wide out towards the left-hand side.
Should have done
now.
it 25 minutes ago.
But the 2 central players are too deep. There's no one to aim at. They've got 2 big centre-halves right in the middle, doing absolutely nothing so far. Souček has gone forward now. He is a goal threat. He is a big warrior. Sharda's putting pressure on Scholes, who's struggling. And he did have his shirt pulled by Schade, and it's going to be a free kick. I mean, I do think it's a little bit unfair on Ollie Scholes in a way.
Yeah,
a young player being played out of position.
And Walker-Peters, although he's played on the left a lot, he's been doing okay playing at right back, and it's overthinking it a little bit from Nuno on this occasion, but he's going to learn as the next few games go which players he can rely on, which ones he can't.
Good industry from Henderson as West Ham try to play the ball forward. He puts the press on, tries to put pressure on Souček, and then gets across, heads the ball forward, then wins the second ball. Henderson enjoying life back in the Premier League and back at Brentford. He plays the ball into midfield. Schade nudges it down to Thiago. It's then sent on. I think there was an offside flag up there, or was there a little push? It's going to be a free kick for West Ham away to our left-hand side. You're listening to West Ham 0, Brentford 1 on Talksport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever it is, they are here for it. Not many West Ham fans here for it at the moment. They've all gone down into the gallows of the stadium to replenish their glasses and maybe fill their bellies up before maybe stomaching a little bit of the second half. Maybe. There's an air of apathy about the London Stadium as Bowen goes down the right-hand side looking to take on Ayer. Good challenge by Christopher Ayer. He's done well at left-back today.
Yes.
Clips the ball forward, looks for Igor Thiago. Not going to get there. Todibo tidies up. And West Ham have possession once again. Here is Andy Irvine, starting his first match since February. Out to the left to Carl Walker-Peters. Back to Andy Irvine again. He sets the cross into the penalty area. It's over the Souček. Goes out wide for Paquetá. He then takes it back towards the right edge of the area where it's collected by Scarles and then given to Bowen, whose left-footed cross is cut out by Sepp van den Berg. And West Ham just enjoying a little bit of possession inside the Brentford half for the first time in about 40 minutes.
Yeah, it feels like a long time, doesn't it? Brentford just happy to protect till half-time, which is the right thing to do.
Here's Paquetá down the right for the home team, who trail here by 1-0. Irvine trying to break the lines and get in to the penalty area. Henderson clears it, goes out for a throw-in down by the corner flag, and maybe West Ham United will try an inventive throw-in routine here. They go short to Somerville. Somerville comes across towards the edge of the penalty area, runs into a little gap, gives it to Bowen, looks for the return. It's Igor Thiago back there helping out the Brentford defence. That's the sort of commitment level that West Ham could do with. Scarles getting down the outside, stopped by Ayer. It breaks down with him again. He's a left-footed fullback playing on the right side. It's not going to be easy for him to take on.
No, but he should have swung his right for that. He's in behind, it's got to go in.
But you can understand why he's not confident, can't you?
Yes, of course, to a degree. But a Premier League footballer, when you're in for, you can cross on your left or your right. He just wasn't confident enough.
Ball was come kindly for Souček from Bowen. Bowen edge of the area. Left-footed shot in towards the far corner. Saved by Kelleher down low to his right to turn it round the post and protect the Brentford lead. I mean, nothing much has happened for West Ham, but you can imagine that if it's going to come from Jared Bowen. And there wasn't much on there when he received the ball back to goal. He dabbed it off to Souček, got the return, and then very quickly unleashed a shot left-footed towards the far corner, which Kelleher did brilliantly to get down and push behind for a corner.
Yeah, first little bit of class and quality we've seen from Bowen. Didn't need much space to get that shot away. It was a decent save.
Somerville from the regurgitated corner. The ball cannons off a Brentford body and runs out for another corner over on the far side. And West Ham in the 6th minute of added time, having a sustained attack for the first time. I think that's the first shot on target that West Ham have had in the game from Bowen. Here's Somerville looking for another. Sends it forward. It's wide of goal as he drops the ball into the box and it goes out for a goal kick.
I might be doing him a disservice there, but Irvine, who's done okay, he's played quite safe, as has Souček. You've got 30 seconds, maybe, a minute left. You take a corner and you play it short because you don't want to risk miss it in the corner. That's what it looked like and felt like to me. Because there was somebody there on Somerville. That's where West Ham are at a minute. Lack of belief, lack of confidence, a bit of nerves. Not enough players grasping the bull by the horns.
Well, West Ham 0, Brentford 1 is the latest scoreline as we go into the 6th minute of added time, and nearly the 7th. And Igor Thiago, the goal scorer, trying to just wrestle with Kilman. It's cleared away. Back forward again by Collins, who stabs it up to Thiago. It drops kindly for Damsgaard, and then Thiago's through again. He pokes it over the goalkeeper. It's 2-0. Igor Thiago with the goal that puts West Ham behind by 2 and starts an exodus at the London Stadium. It looks as if the last person that leaves this venue tonight will have to turn the lights out, and they might be going out pretty swiftly. They've been much the better team in the first half, Brentford. West Ham have been absolutely abject. Another opportunity.
Offside,
there might be an offside flag here that goes up against Thiago and spares the blushes. Maybe not, but his finish was sublime. A little clip over the advancing goalkeeper after a 1-2 with Damsgaard. And it's 2-0 to Brentford.
The first long ball up, he looked offside, but he didn't actually touch it. So whether he was in, it's a great little finish though from the clever little ball from Damsgaard. But it came from a really poor clearance from West Ham, high up into the air to nobody, no confidence to bring the ball down. That's where they're looking for the offside. When the first ball comes up, he's just maybe a couple of inches offside, but he doesn't actually touch the ball. So whether he's interfering or not, we'll have to wait and see.
Again, we better remind people that there's no semi-automated offside technology tonight. So we're using the old school system of the crosshairs and drawing the lines on the pitch, which is a less accurate way of doing it. Still pretty accurate from the VAR. They're just doing that now, and it might well mean that we have quite a lengthy delay here because it is very tight. It's the back foot of Todibo. And then does he nudge it back to?
No, he doesn't head it.
I think he heads it back to Damsgaard, doesn't he?
Todibo heads it, but he's challenging him while he heads it.
So he's putting him off. So therefore, he's attempting to play the ball. So this goal, well, yeah, he does attempt to play the ball, but does he prevent him from playing the ball? The answer is no. So it's a subjective offside decision, really, isn't it? And the referee is just waiting for the decision in his ear. He's asking for instructions from our VAR tonight, and the VAR, Jared Gillett, is overturning the decision offside.
Yeah, I can see it. He has challenged for the ball.
He's challenged for the ball. Has he prevented the opponent from playing it? Well, no,
but you could argue he's prevented it from getting bigger distance.
Right, because he hasn't played it properly. He's played it into Damsgaard. That is the reason the goal has been ruled out. Well, look at this. It's a half-empty stadium. The boos have rung out. I mean, they haven't rung out too loud because there's hardly anyone in the stadium to boo at the break. And they booed at the break because West Ham United, who have never begun a league campaign with 4 successive home defeats before, are on the verge of not only losing 4 straight home games at the beginning of the season, but playing in such an abject manner that nobody wants to stick around and watch the second half. At the break, it's West Ham United 0, Brentford 1.
Oh no, Nuno's first home game in charge is not going well at all. He was straight down the tunnel when the whistle went, and West Ham have got lucky. They've got very lucky that second goal has been ruled out. Not entirely convinced that it should be, but it has been ruled out, and it's 1-0 to Brentford. And Danny Murphy, that's the only positive for West Ham. They've been absolutely rubbish, but it's only 1-0. That's the thing that West Ham have got to cling on to and build on during the half-time team talk and in the second half.
They've just been given a lifesaver. They've just been given a huge help in this game. Now, the manager's got to help the team as well because too many of them look a little bit lost. Now, you could argue some of it's a lack of quality and confidence, yes, but they're not set up right. The system's not the end of the world if you've got players playing that way who know how to play it. But you've got a central midfielder playing on the left who kept letting the right back run off. You've got Somerville and Paqueta who are super talents and can both link up play, but neither of them are used to playing centre forward and linking together. They're more used to, if they play that role, having a forward who runs the other way and they can create space for them. They're both looking for the same ball. And you've got 2 fullbacks who are really struggling with the wide boys. Too much for them. It's too big an evening for them with the quality they're up against. So I'd be thinking, if I was him, of Wan-Bissaka and Diouf to go against those two and really strengthen it up with the pace and the physicality of those two. I'd be thinking of getting Callum Wilson on to stretch them and just give you a get-out ball. Because when you're trying to play through the line or trying to play out and you've got everybody coming this way to the feet, it's hard. I think they have been poor, but let's not go, be disrespectful to Brentford's level of their performance, because I thought without the ball they were really good. Good press, good tenacity, breaking up play. With the ball, real threat. As an observer, and this is the biggest compliment I can pay Brentford for that first half, it looks like they've got more players, but it's only because they're working harder, running harder, they're more mobile, they're getting around the pitch more. So when they're defending in numbers. When they're attacking in numbers. I are so advanced a lot of the time in that first half. Seriously impressed with Brentford. I think impressed because also they're playing a bit differently than they did the last couple of times out with a 3 at the back. Ayer left back, we never thought, because you're thinking he's more of a centre-half, 6 foot plus guy, playing against Bowen. It's a little bit, you're kind of thinking, is that going to work? But he's been so positive. The middle of the park as well, just that, Henderson getting on it, experience, Yarmouk looks a good player, fit as a fiddle. And Damsgaard just grows. The more you see him, the more he grows on you. The little intelligent passes round the corner, the dropping in at the right times. Sometimes when there's no space centrally, he drifts out wide. But ultimately, Brentford's strength's that front three. when you watch them play, you can see they're a threat in behind. They're both, the wide boys both don't mind dribbling with it, strong, keeping it. And the lad up top, he's a bit raw, and he should have had 2 or 3 really, but he's a threat.
Oh, absolutely. From the half-hour mark, get this, 30th minute, Thiago hit the bar. 31st, Damsgaard's header it forced a good save. 32nd, Thiago close-range shot side netting. 33rd, Ouattara's header diverted wide by Bowen. A lot of Brentford pressure. West Ham simply couldn't cope. 40th minute, Ouattara with a free header that went wide. That he really should have scored. So they could be 4 or 5-0 up. West Ham have been that bad. Let me give you a bit of information about Ollie Scholes. Our Talksport team have been digging right back through his career as a youth player as well. So for the under-18s, under-23s and the first team, Ollie Scholes, left back, has never played at right back before tonight. And you're in the bottom 3 and you're sticking him in at right back against Brentford, who play attacking wing backs. I mean, it's just...
I feel for him. He's struggling over there, really struggling. And he's not the only one, by the way. There's a few of them struggling. But he doesn't look like he's comfortable in the position, and he hasn't got the pace to play either fullback against these two. These two wide players are really super quick and super dangerous. And that's why you need pace against pace in this type of game. And he's got 2 of them on the bench. So bring them on.
It's crazy. 113 games, 17 for the first team, never played at right back. Extraordinary. We've heard from PGMO on that disallowed goal. Offside in the build-up. The lines were drawn as per last season without the semi-automated. It deemed Thiago challenged the opponent, so was interfering despite not playing the ball. So it was a subjective, as Sam said in commentary. And I can see why why that's happened. However, the goal was given. So for me, I'm thinking, should the referee really overturn it? I'm not sure.
Clear and obvious high bar, yeah, I see what you mean.
Well, I think that if the VAR is going to overturn it, he should send him to the monitor and have a look.
Yeah. I mean, without the semi-automated...
My gut feeling is it was right decision. Because I think he'd have cleared it much further if he hadn't jumped into it.
It just feels like they're desperate to rule out a goal. That's what it feels like to me.
I hear you.
Brentford, they've got one. They probably should have more.
Oh, they should have had a bagful.
Oh, and they've been sensational in the first half. So this isn't the all West Ham negativity show. Brentford have been brilliant. West Ham have been just as terrible. Let's get the half-time odds with Ladbrokes.
Odds update on Talksport with Ladbrokes. Get a free bet every week of the season and a big boost every day. That's Ladisfaction. Minimum £5 bet. Conditions apply. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
So it's West Ham 0, Brentford 1 at half-time live on Talksport. For the latest odds, head to Ladbrokes, where right now you can get West Ham 17-2. The draw 16-5. Brentford are 11-4 on. Next goal scorer odds, Thiago, looks likely 11-2. Sharda 8-1, Bowen 13-2, and a good shot at the end there. And a special penalty to be scored was 7-2 and is still 7-2. That was the latest odds with Ladbrokes. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
Odds update on Talksport with Ladbrokes. Get a free bet every week of the season and a big boost every day. That's Ladisfaction. Minimum £5 bet. Conditions apply. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
Premier League tonight, live and exclusive on Talksport. Champions League is back, and what a game tomorrow night. Live on Talksport, it's Newcastle against Benfica, and the Newcastle manager Eddie Howe has been speaking about his counterpart Jose Mourinho.
He's someone that I hugely admire, having come up against him before in the Premier League, and I think as a younger coach, really admired the teams that he built at Chelsea in particular. I thought definitely a visionary, someone that broke the mould really in terms of how you manage and different ways to do things. And then following his success through different clubs, different leagues, incredible really what he's achieved in his career.
Yeah, he's got a few gongs, hasn't he, Jose Mourinho? He'll be at St James Park tomorrow night, and so will Talksport. Newcastle against Benfica is on Talksport, and on Talksport 2 it's Villarreal against Man City. I'll bring you the show live from Arsenal, Atletico Madrid, and on Wednesday I'll be at Chelsea Ajax. Commentary on Talksport of Frankfurt against Liverpool, and on Talksport 2 Monaco against Tottenham. Champions League back on Talksport tomorrow and on Wednesday as well here at the London Stadium. Just checking to see if Ian Abrahams has left early, like a lot of the West Ham fans seem to have done. They have boycotted, and those that have come to the game, they have already left. It feels like the players have left as well. They trail Brentford by 1-0. Will there be some life shown in the second half from the Hammers? It's coming up next on Talksport.
Kick-off on Talksport with Ladbrokes. 18+ gambleaware.org.
Incredible scenes here at the Village Hotel's Pub and Grill. Fans are taking their place in the fan zone with stadium-style seating, amazing views on huge screens, and we're underway. Lovely bit of dribbling there as she tackles the burger stack. Now they're getting down the wings. Sticky barbecue. Unbelievable. Oh, and he's hit the bar. And it's there. His favourite ice-cold beer. What a result. Catch every game live in the Pub and Grill at Village. Get in. Find out more at villagehotels.com.
The season's in full swing and it's action-packed. Make sure you're all over it with the Sun's free pull-out goals. With expert opinion and tactical analysis, you get it all with goals. And with unrivaled news from the Premier League to League Two, it has to be goals. Stay up to date on all the latest football action. Get your free copy of Goals every Saturday, Sunday and Monday, only in the Sun.
We all fantasize about our perfect home. Watching the big game cozied up in the snug.
Another 7-0 win!
Balmy summer nights with the kids playing on the lawn.
We're playing real-life football!
But come on, this isn't real. Listen, if you're serious about making your fantasy a reality, find out what your home is worth instantly with a free online valuation estimate. Get real about moving. Get on the market. Most common time to obtain an online quote between 1st of April 2024 and 30th of June 2024 was under 3 minutes. Excludes Northern Ireland.
He's having a blinder. He's clipped the post. He's looking formidable. Then... substitution. His game might be over, but yours isn't. With Betfair's Safe Sub, your bet simply rolls onto the player coming on. Playing a different league with Betfair.
Valid on selected leagues and markets only. Applies to singles, multiples and bet builder bets on qualified player outcome selections. Does not apply to odds boosts. T's and C's and exclusions apply. 18+ gambleaware.org.
And now, the weather.
Outside, gloomy skies, a persistent drizzle and a chilly wind blowing from the west, north, east and south. But inside, temperatures of toasty warm with a high chance of comfy cushions, soft lighting and a smattering of snuggly throws. Come home to cozy. Discover textiles and lighting at your local IKEA now. IKEA, the wonderful everyday.
It's another day at Screwfix, and so Mo Farah is learning the ropes.
So, Mo, with Click and Collect, we get orders ready fast. So customers are out of here and back to their jobs in as little as 1 minute. What are you doing?
Deep lunges. It's my warm-up. I need to be in peak condition for when orders come in.
Love that intensity, Mo. Laser focused. You might even have what it takes to beat my PB one day.
Back in the Mo.
Click and collect in as little as 1 minute. Screwfix. No stopping you.
Hi, just leaving work now. Sorry it's a bit loud. Basically, so I was thinking we could get Mackey's tonight. Had a Big Mac on my mind all day, and delivery fee on the app is now from 99p. So, you in? Of course you are. Ha, love you. Bye.
Exclusively on the McDonald's app. 18+. Service fee and small order fee may apply. Participating restaurants. Serving times and T's and C's apply.
Kick off live on Talksport with Sky Sports. Stream the biggest Premier League games flexibly with Now. Like West Ham versus Brentford live today. Search Now Sports. 18+. Stream via internet. Terms apply.
The football animal is alive. Kick off live on Talksport.
It would be a new low if they lost here tonight. The Hammers have never begun a league campaign with 4 successive home defeats.
It's hard not to come here and feel a little bit negative about it. We tend to come here when West Ham don't win games.
Coyote, his cross into the boxes, dollied up, flicked, and then onto the back post where Thiago has hit the top of the crossbar.
Oh, that's a bad miss.
Poor from West Ham. They're regressing here. Ball into the box again. Damsgaard with a header. He's hit the outside of the post. Ouattara with a looping header. And it's going towards the far post. And they could take no chances again. They've missed so many chances. West Ham have been so fortunate not to concede. Back for Thiago. Good save initially by the goalkeeper. And it sneaks in on the rebound off the inside of the post. And Thiago has given Brentford a much-deserved lead. West Ham United have been absolutely pathetic tonight for Damsgaard. And then Thiago's through again. He pokes it over the goalkeeper. It's 2-0. Gary Gillett is overturning the decision offside. It's a half-empty stadium. The boos have rung out.
They truly were awful first half. West Ham, they're out early for the second half. Brentford on their way out. West Ham so bad, and they are making changes as well. After defeat at Arsenal a couple of weeks ago, Nuno said West Ham working on the basics, working on organisation, working on pressing, working on being aggressive. They've not worked hard enough, have they? As one West Ham fan said to me at half-time, this is worse than Potter. West Ham 0, Brentford 1. Second half on Talksport. Danny Murphy, Sam Matface.
3 changes at half-time. Matheus Fernandes is off, so is Ollie Scholes, and so is Kyle Walker-Peters. And actually the team has a little bit more of the look about it that we maybe expected from the off, with Mavropanos coming into what is now going to be a back 3 for West Ham, with Diouf playing on the left-hand side as a wing-back and Wan-Bissaka on the right as a wing-back. A little bit more conventional, Danny Murphy. What will it change?
Well, it'll give them real presence in the wider areas when they're attacking with the power of Wan-Bissaka and Diouf. They can also sit in and help the back three and create less space, or give less space to this Brentford front three. Have caused them all sorts of problems. And then it should allow, with the wing-backs, it should allow Somerville and Bowen to concentrate more on attacking and creating rather than defending. It's right to do something.
Underway at the start of the second half. Mavropanos immediately just kicks it long through the middle of the pitch. West Ham in claret shirts, white shorts, white socks, attacking the goal away to our left, and all in light blue with flicks of pink and claret. And Brentford coming towards our right, and they're going down the left-hand side now with Sharda. A tackle comes in from Wan-Bissaka, one of his brilliant slide tackles that pokes the ball out to the far side.
But even that, in a foot race, just matched him. Wins the tackle. The problem West Ham are going to have by playing wing-backs is that who's going to go out to the full-backs of the back four. It's the same old problems when you come up against wing-back 5 at the back and 4 at the back, is the Brentford full-backs should get out. So there's going to be loads of different battles we'll see now, but at least he's done something.
Here is the long throw from Coyote into the penalty area. Flick over the top of the bar by Todibo, and it goes out for a corner kick to Brentford, the away team, who lead by a goal to 0, and only by a millimetre in a subjective offside decision do they not lead by 2 goals to 0. Their 15 shots in the first half is their joint most in the opening 45 minutes of a Premier League game. They also did it against Burnley in October 2023. But it shows you how much they were on top in the first half. Here's the outswinging corner from Damsgaard. Thiago arrives for the header, but maybe just got underneath that. And he heads the ball out on the far side and away for a West Ham United throw. Brentford have won more Premier League games against West Ham than any other opponent. They've won 8 of the last 12 league meetings since October 1953. The ratio has slimmed up and gone the other way in the last few seasons after they won the first 5 Premier League meetings, but they're certainly on top in this one. What can the changes do for West Ham? Mavropanos, one of those, heads the ball down into the path of Todibo. Then Wan-Bissaka infield to Souček, and then back to Todibo once more. He clips it forward. The only issue I have with the changes, Danny, is that you still don't really have the focal point up top for West Ham United, someone for them to hit.
Yeah, I'd have put Callum Wilson on and dropped Paquetá back into central midfield and taken off either Irvine or Souček. Because what Paquetá does, he'll get the ball in tight spaces, he'll demand it off the back players and get you playing a bit more. He's better technically than the other two and more creative, and then it gives you the focal point of Wilson. But I think we'll see that in 10 or 15 minutes, I would imagine.
Still eerie atmosphere at the London Stadium. A few of the seats have been refilled after half-time. There's people coming back into the game after the half-time break, but really and truly the attendance is very low, and they've lost the ball here, West Ham, and steaming forward is Ayer, who tries to unleash a shot from about 25 yards. It hits the defender, goes out towards the near side, and Diouf didn't keep it in. He let it go out, and he's given away a throw-in on this near touchline, which is always a disaster when you give away a throw-in to Michael Coyote.
Good again from Ayer, though, wasn't it? Really proactive with his play when he gets the ball. He's just bursting forward, using that athleticism and confidence that he's got, even though he's playing in a position that we don't normally see him in. I know he's played there a couple of times before, but...
Semi-automated outside technology is back in play now as the throw-in goes back into the box. It's headed away by the middle of the West Ham defence, comes back towards Ayer. It's left. He's in an offside position. The flag is up. Areola comes out, bowls it forward. And there was an opportunity to get it out to Bowen far side. They declined that opportunity. It's gone from Diouf to Somerville. He's scampering forward at pace, though. He's got Bowen to his right. He's still going. He's decided to shoot and wasted that breakaway, and he's ballooned the ball into the crowd away to our left-hand side once again.
Doesn't really matter that he ballooned it. It was great positive play from Somerville, exactly what you want to see. Picking that ball up on the left where we know he's most comfortable, moving inside the pitch, committing people, really good. Don't mind that, much better.
Here is the clearance from inside the penalty area away to our left by Caoimhin Kelleher up to the halfway line. He's headed out of play on this near touch line. And it's away for a throw-in, which Coyote will take inside his own half this time. This is Talksport, Monday Night Football. Semi-automated offside technology went out because, I don't know if you've noticed, but your Roblox didn't work today, your Snapchat, your Zooms, calls were down. Some of our podcast technology was a bit befuddled earlier on.
You're not on Snapchat,
as well.
are you?
I'm not. I just saw that it was out.
Oh, okay.
And I know that some people still use it. Here is Wan-Bissaka over on the right-hand side. Those servers back up now, and semi-automated technology is back on. Here is Wan-Bissaka steaming forward, down the right, looking for Bowen. Bowen trying to get towards the edge of the penalty area. It's worked to Irvine, then back to Wan-Bissaka, who tries to cross the ball, and he sort of block tackled as he attempted to do that as the challenge came in from Henderson. It went through the penalty area and out the other side, and it goes out for a throw-in to Brentford in the right fullback position. West Ham beat them here 18 months ago on a night that Jared Bowen won't forget. He scored a hat-trick, his only senior hat-trick. But boy, do they need something to just lift the mood around this place. It's the joint worst Premier League start to a season. Defeat today would make it the joint worst start to a campaign since 1932-33, which ended in the club's lowest ever finish in league football. That was 20th in the second tier and equal to the 88-89 season when they were relegated. Here is Schade chesting the ball down for Brentford, the opponents for West Ham tonight. Into the penalty area he goes, and then just goes out the other side, guides it back to Ayer, who's confident with the ball at his feet once more. He sends it into Schade, back to Jordan Henderson, into Damsgaard. Damsgaard tries to feed it in towards Ouattara. A little bit of a heavy touch from Ouattara, takes him too wide of the goalkeeper, who comes out and gathers up at his feet and manages to clear the ball away. 1-0 to Brentford. Irvine in the centre of midfield, just trying to keep things moving. And West Ham haven't really done too much to trouble Caoimhin Kelleher since making those changes. Haven't conceded as many chances as they did in the first half, but that was always going to be the case, I think. So many opportunities for Brentford in that first 45 minutes that it was always unlikely they were going to keep up the peppering of the West Ham goal. They deserve a greater lead than the one that they have on the scoreboard.
They do. It's amazing how many times Henderson and Yarmouk end up winning balls that get knocked down from centre-halves, from either team. They're so good at it.
Henderson wants an offside flag to go up against Paquetá. It hasn't happened, and West Ham continue to play with Irvine swinging the ball out to Wan-Bissaka far touchline. He's 15 yards inside opposition territory. He brings the ball down, gives it to Bowen. Bowen takes over midway inside opposition territory. Wan-Bissaka tries to keep them on the front foot. Takes it away from Ayer, then comes infield. Bowen's got it again. Somerville wants it. Gets it centre field. Now Kilman joins the attack. He lifts the ball into the box. That's easy for Van den Berg to head away. Comes to Damsgaard. He holds on to it well. Spreads the play out to Schade, who skips away from Todibo and bounds into the West Ham half. It's still Schade trying to poke it through ambitiously to Thiago. He should have kept running. Instead, he tried to force it through to Igor Thiago, and it took a deflection off the retreating Kilman and back into the arms of Areola.
Great counter from Brentford. Schade's pace is just phenomenal. And when he gets in the position of making a choice, he makes the wrong one, because if he'd have just delayed it a little bit longer, Damsgaard was coming round the left-hand side of him, who I don't think he saw, to be honest.
That's a great chance, wasn't it? It was really well played by Brentford, a crafted attack which ended up with an opportunity for Schade. He just took an early attempt at poking the ball forward, and that played into West Ham's hands. It's been a serious issue for West Ham tonight, defending the Brentford attack. They're powerful, they're strong, they're usually more ruthless than they've been this evening in terms of statistically, but they have been a constant threat.
I'm not sure who the coach is in the technical area for Brentford, because Keith Andrews having a rest sitting down, but he is like a jack in the box.
Here is Paquetá, edge of the area, looking for Somerville. Immediately across goes Coyote. He wanders into traffic, gives the ball away to Souček. He strikes, hits the back of Sepp van den Berg, spirals into the air, and Kelleher picks it up and then immediately throws the ball forward to Damsgaard, who tries to get the wrong side of Wan-Bissaka. Spreads the play to the left. It's collected by Schade, who runs up to the left angle of the penalty area. Damsgaard goes down the outside. He gets it now. Damsgaard in towards the centre, goes past the goalkeeper and somehow held behind by the defender. Diouf really got his goalkeeper out of jail there, and it goes out for a corner.
So clever from Damsgaard, and the pace and threat of Schade again, but Damsgaard's so intelligent and bright. Just struggles to find his man, because he's right on the byline when he tries to fizz that across. Danger again on the counter from Brentford.
Not sure what the goalkeeper was doing in that scenario, but they've given an opportunity to Brentford to take another corner far side. Damsgaard's going to swing this in, and Ayer is right under the goalkeeper. Paquetá has gone back to help him away from Areola. The ball comes in towards the middle of the goal, and Areola is nowhere. And luckily for West Ham, the ball sailed over the top. It was glanced away by Todibo, and it's out for a throwing down by the corner flag, although I'm not sure exactly how lucky that is. The semi-automated offside technology, just for clarity, was not used for Brentford's disallowed goal. It's back in play now, but it wasn't used for the disallowed goal. That outage earlier on today that took out so many systems, took out the semi-automated offside technology as well, and it wasn't used for that goal. Here's the throw-in from Coyote, in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Headed on by Ayer. Out comes Areola this time. He stretches his arms into the night sky, grabs it down and pulls it into his chest, and he will clear it away. It's been all Brentford in the game, very little from West Ham. Even after the changes, there's been very few positive attacks from the Hammers. One or two forays forward, but still Brentford hungrier, more tenacious, quicker to the ball, and dictating the flow of the game.
Yeah, the system hasn't really altered too much in terms of Brentford's confidence or the way they're conducting themselves, but it has given West Ham a little bit more width, a little bit more composure as well, but still can't threaten the goalkeeper, can they?
Given away by Wan-Bissaka. Yarmouk runs into traffic. Schade, though, is funneling back for Brentford. He does brilliantly to hold on to it and then turns it through his own legs and into the path of Coyote, who's strong, robust, and a very good signing after a loan spell on a permanent basis. Up into Damsgaard. Damsgaard charged forward. The gap appears and he runs through it. Across comes Wan-Bissaka and produces a brilliant slide tackle. The ball turns over, but not for long, because Yarmouk is there again. Terrific little player. Wins it back, turns it forward, out towards Damsgaard, who turns away from Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka trying to hold on to him, pulled him back, free kick.
See, one of the problems West Ham have got in the middle of the pitch, Irvine and Souček don't have the athleticism to get around. And the speed in which Brentford are playing through the lines, causing them real problems. Yarmouk and Henderson with Damsgaard just ahead of them, popping up in the pockets, is causing those two in the middle of the park an absolute nightmare. They don't know whether to drop in, push on. They're just getting played around too easily.
Free kick to be taken over on the far side. Henderson's delivery is deep towards the far post. It's headed down by Ayer, but it came off the top of his shoulder, I think, and didn't go where he intended it to. Cleared away eventually by Diouf, and then back in by Coyote. Not the greatest ball forward. Diouf's attempt at a clearance wasn't great. Ayer putting his body on the line alongside Irvine, who eventually chests it down, helps it into the air. It's another nothing pass, and Damsgaard's got it back again. 58 on the clock. 1-0 to Brentford, who deserve much more. And it's Talksport with Sky Sports. Don't forget that with Now you can stream all the Sky Sports action flexibly, like West Ham versus Brentford live right now. Search Now Sports. Up it goes towards Ouattara, away by Kilman, flicked in by Diouf, then on to Irvine, into the chest of Bowen. Bowen can't get it back to Diouf. Diouf tells him to calm down, not rush things. Bowen, a wry smile from him. And the ball goes out for a throw-in once again. Something needs to change for West Ham. They're fortunate that it's only 1-0.
They're still in it.
And as a result, there's always a chance, isn't there? You know, things can change very quickly in these matches, and we've seen that over the course of the season so far. Going to be another change here. Callum Marshall about to come on for Andy Irvine, and that means a focal point. Marshall played for Northern Ireland in the international break, and anyone who saw those performances from Callum Marshall knows that he will give you 110%. He'll be rushing around, chasing every lost cause, making sure that he puts himself about a bit. He is a young forward who yet to score for West Ham.
Here is what Callum Wilson must be thinking. Penny for his thoughts.
That's a question maybe for the phone in later. Here is Damsgaard producing a cross into the box, looking for Schade, headed away by Mavropanos. Back it goes by Sepp Vandenberg to Ayer, and then Damsgaard, who's having a good game, has it on the right hand side, looking to take on Souček. Lovely little ball into Ayer, who flicks it on towards the far post. Diouf has to come in and nudge it behind and away for a corner. It was good from Ayer. It was even better from Damsgaard, and Brentford again on the front foot.
Damsgaard's having a field day. His football IQ, the setup of the team, the way it works for him. He goes in the pockets, he finds spaces. West Ham can't cope with him. They don't know where he is. Everything good that's coming for Brentford's coming through him. Whether it's setting up the move deeper or whether it's in the final third, making those little passes.
Absolutely, and here he is on the ball again, sending a cross into the near post, and Vandenberg gets up there and glances his header well wide. He goes out for a goal kick, but that was a delicious delivery, and he really attacked that. The Dutchman got away from his marker, came across the front post, headed it on the edge of the 6-yard box, and it went wide. Marshall comes on, off comes Andy Irvine, and a change of shape again, with Marshall going up to lead the line for West Ham, and he gets a ripple of applause. They're behind him here.
I think the system stayed the same. I think Paquetá just drops into where Irvine was, like I suggested before. Just someone braver on the ball, someone more confident.
System stays the same, but the approach is different because you've got someone who is going to stretch in behind.
Yeah, sorry. I didn't realise that's what you said.
It wasn't really.
I wasn't actually trying to catch you out. We're seeing pictures at the moment of Callum Wilson, who I'm gobsmacked he's not bringing him on, because he's such a physical presence, such a focal point.
It's not the only senior player that's not involved tonight. We've mentioned James Ward-Prowse. Here's Coyote coming forward, left-footed ball into the centre. Schade hits the crossbar with a thumping header, and it comes back out, and that West Ham goal is leading a charmed life again. What a cross from Coyote, what a header from Schade, but how did it not go in?
Well, the longer the game goes on, the more you start thinking West Ham might sneak something out of this game, because they are second best in every department.
Schade's got it again, plays it into Ouattara, edge of the area. Todibo does just enough to stop him from progressing into the box. Wan-Bissaka gets hold of it. The West Ham crowd want to urge them on. It's not full by any means. It's about, half full right now, maybe 2/3 if they're lucky, if we're being generous. But the West Ham players need to try and invigorate what's left of this crowd. Somerville into the centre. His cross steered away by Collins. Back in by Souček. Poor ball forward. Collins gets it back to his goalkeeper. Kelleher takes it wide of the post and kicks it long and clear. 1-0 to Brentford. And all the while it stays 1-0, there's always that hope in the back of your mind that West Ham can rescue something. They deserve absolutely nothing from the game so far. because if you look at the statistics are quite damning.
It was a brilliant cross, wasn't it? Great cross, and then the header, the timing of the run, everything was perfect. He just couldn't get over it enough. It's a bad miss, really.
Here is Bowen down the down the right-hand side, but Thiago cobs across and gets there because the ball into him from Souček was so tepid. Let's have a look at the first half, the statistics overall. 19 shots for Brentford, 5 shots for West Ham, only 1 on target in the game. In the second half of the game, though, really interesting, neither team had a shot on target, but Brentford still had 4 shots to West Ham's 2.
Yeah.
Here is Paquetá sending it behind Somerville. Poor ball goes out of play and away for a goal kick away to our left-hand side. You know Espirito Santo. Obviously, you haven't been here very long. You've absorbed many of the academy coaching staff as your coaching staff here. What will you be thinking having watched this team's performance tonight? How much work do you think you've got to do?
Well, I think he knows when you come into a club who's lacking confidence and lacking wins, there's going to be some time to rebuild that. But he'll be learning more about individuals at the moment and who's capable of doing the work he needs to be done from a defensive point of view, who can play in what position, who's got the legs. Be learning that every day, and he'll have learned a lot tonight because they have been really poor in most areas of the pitch.
Ball's been sent forward to the edge of the penalty area. It's spooned away by Vandenberg, goes out for a throw in which Diouf wants to get moving quickly. He gets it back to Paquetá onto his right foot. He clips the ball towards the edge of the area, but out comes Kelleher and grabs that rather easily and will clear it away.
Paquetá's not been anywhere near his...
No.
You know, for the levels he's got. Now, you could argue because he's been playing higher up the pitch, he's been starved of the ball, but now he's dropped into midfield. He's got to get on the ball and start trying to dictate play a little bit.
You wonder whether or not there's a greater sense of malaise about this team, though, because this is not something that's happened in the first few weeks of Nuno's reign. It's not something that's happening just in the first few weeks of this season. If you go back the 6 months that Graham Potter was in charge at the end of last season, they weren't great, and before that, under Lopetegui. Here is Yarmouk steaming forward, getting towards the edge of the West Ham penalty area. Releases Coyote, who's crossed into the box, is going to be picked off by Areola. Wasn't the best of deliveries, and he's done a few decent deliveries tonight. That move wasn't one of them.
That move was started by a lovely little flick around the corner from Damsgaard again. Just got a great awareness of where people are. Spatial awareness, really, really clever. For someone slight and not the quickest, just shows you what a real footballing brain can give you. Just that constant ability to find people in space.
Well, the ball's gone out of play again, rather cheaply from West Ham. Damsgaard, terrific player, burst onto the scene at Euro 2020 when he scored that free kick against England. He took a little while to find his feet, but he is a wonderful player, and he's always been sort of touted as the heir apparent to Christian Eriksen in Danish football circles.
Yeah, it's a good comparison because Eriksen wasn't particularly robust or dynamic, but just super clever, technically very, very good. Maybe not quite up to the level of Eriksen at his best, but still that type. There we go again.
Dropping into a pocket on halfway, picking the ball up, running forward, then sending it down the right. Ball. And it's a lovely ball for Thiago, who shoots it against the goalkeeper, who makes the save. He might have been in an offside position there. As it comes back to the edge of the box, Damsgaard was joining, but he was halted because the flag went up. But that was a delicious ball from Damsgaard, dropping in just on the halfway line, turning, and there was lots of space to run into there, Danny. He was offside, Thiago.
The problem they've got is that when the ball goes into him, if the two central midfielders are preoccupied with the Henderson and Yarmouk, one of the centre-halves who's free now that West Ham have got 3, he's got to step in.
Yeah.
They've got to step in because otherwise he can just do what he wants when he wants, and that's maybe the problems when you've got a team trying to play a couple of different systems they're not used to.
Yarmouk, lovely little bit of skill to get away from Souček and then draws the foul from Somerville, and the free kick goes in favour of Brentford, and by punching the ball to the floor and protesting, Somerville gets himself a yellow card. He's just kicked the ball away again. Now by rights the referee should book him a second time and send him off there. Andy Maddy's let him get away with one.
See, I'm surprised with Kilman at the back there that he doesn't spot that. They've got one striker between the 3 of them. One of them's got to step in. You feel it in a game when someone's dictating. someone's always getting on the ball, always popping up, always making passes, running the game, and you think, how do we stop it? Someone has to try and do something out there on the pitch. Whether it's a central midfielder dropping back, whether it's a centre-half stepping in, but he is absolutely running the show. Tremendous performance from him.
Henderson standing over the ball. Damsgaard is there as well. It's going to be Henderson's delivery towards the far post, headed by Igor Thiago. It drops on the edge of the 6-yard box. Kilman manages to hack it away. It's further away by Paquetá. Backheaders the ball out of the penalty area. It's still looping in the air, chested down by Thiago. He thrusts it forward for Brentford, but it's cleared away by West Ham. They can't get it to halfway. Yarmulke then holds on to it, gives it to Coyote, and Brentford will start once again. I mean, we don't want to see anyone sent off, but by the letter of the law, Somerville a little bit lucky?
Yeah, but you're right. You don't want to see someone sent off for a little mad 30 seconds, do you?
Nope.
You will get people, though. I mean, if he ends up scoring the equaliser, it's probably going to come up.
Just a bit. Brentford do have a tendency to drop points from winning positions. They've dropped 8 points already this season from winning positions, which is a bit of an issue, and they've dropped 32 points from winning positions since the start of last season. So it is in their wheelhouse. This is Kilman, deep inside their own territory, clipping it forward up to Diouf. Diouf takes it down and pushes it forward. Rodriguez about to come on for Souček in the next few moments. Here is Somerville. Somerville stretching and going down under pressure, winning a free kick in the left wing position. And it's a chance for West Ham to craft something from a set piece now. It's currently West Ham United 0, Brentford 1. The latest odds are available at Ladbrokes, where right now you can get West Ham to win the game 14-1, 7-2-1 for Brentford to complete the victory. The draw is 7-2. That's all thanks to Ladbrokes. It's 18+. BeGambleAware.org. Just over 20 minutes to go. Here is Rodriguez about to come into the fray. Somerville standing over this free kick, so is Paquetá. It'll be an outswinger if it's Paquetá, an in-swinger if it's Somerville. Kilman up from the back, Souček in there as well. It's Somerville who goes towards the edge of the 6-yard box and very close to Kelleher, and he grabs it, releases it, and they're off on the march again. And Sharda trying to get away from Todibo. Todibo did really well to fight back and stop him from getting on to the West Ham half of the field, because Igor Thiago had made a brilliant burst forward, and Sharda, if he'd released him, could have put West Ham in further trouble. Here's confirmation of that change. Souček for Guido Rodriguez.
Todibo's actually done all right, considering there's a lot of people, well, West Ham supporters who are not that keen on him. I think he's done all right tonight. One of the few.
Callum Wilson starting to undo his boots. I wonder if he thinks that maybe he's not going to get on tonight.
I mean, the boos for a player coming on the pitch, I mean, how's that going to help him?
Well, he hasn't been a very popular signing since he arrived last summer.
You know, you're 1-0 down at home. You've got a new manager through the door. The lad's coming on, just... I don't know.
Well, that's it, isn't it? That's 5 substitutions for West Ham United. So... no Callum Wilson tonight. Here is Somerville, edge of the penalty area, turning it on to Bowen. Bowen trying to do some damage, and the only thing he damages is one of the bars that sit behind the Sir Trevor Brooking stand away to our left-hand side. That was a poor effort from Jarrod Bowen by his high standards.
It was, but the move was set up because Paquetá was getting on the ball in midfield and taking control of it and taking some touches and playing progressive passes. And then Somerville finds Bowen, running away from him on his right, just bobbled up as he hit it, to be fair to him, looking at the replay, but better that from West Ham.
5 changes for West Ham United. Yet to have a change for the away side, who lead by a goal to 0. I wonder whether or not they'll mix it up in the next few moments. Certainly Keith Andrews just talking to his coaching staff now about the possibility. They don't want to entertain any sort of idea of a swing in momentum. Not that West Ham are rushing the ball forward here. Somerville into Diouf. Diouf tries to poke it down the touchline. Coyote is easily going to get hold of that. And then it goes back to Kelleher, who clips it towards halfway. Thiago in with a fight with Mavropanos, who wins the header.
Nice.
Down by Collins. Infield it goes to Henderson. Out wide to Damsgaard. Damsgaard out to Ouattara near touchline. Tight to the chalk, about 15 yards inside West Ham territory. Brentford bossing possession, bossing everything really. They've looked a more accomplished side, a more refined side than West Ham, who have looked a little bit ragtag today.
Yeah, they look, considering the places in the table are so close, they look miles apart on tonight's performance. Collins is a good player as well, isn't he? Very calm on the ball, just nice and experienced, knows when to get rid, knows when to take a touch.
Ball over on the far side with Aya. Aya trying to hold off Wan-Bissaka. And was eventually pulled by Wan-Bissaka, and the referee gives the free kick in Brentford's favour. Brentford averaging just 39% possession so far this season in the Premier League, second only to Burnley. They've had 56.2% possession today, which is amazing. It'll be the first time that they've had over 50% possession in a Premier League game this campaign. And Thomas Frank actually had got them into a bit of a trend, really, where they'd started incrementally over the seasons that he was in charge to have more of the ball. It'd gone backwards a little bit at the beginning of the season, but, I mean, they've absolutely enjoyed a lot of the ball tonight.
Well, it's understandable as well, going backwards a little bit when they've lost the quality they have.
Actually, my question to you after I'd written that statistic down earlier was, is this needs must because of the loss of key personnel? And you've answered it. That's exactly what it is. Here is Wan-Bissaka. Somerville, space out wide on the left for Diop. He couldn't get the ball out to him quick enough. Ouattara just held him up a little bit. Here is Somerville still on the ball into the D where Marshall's trying to turn. He runs into Damsgaard, can't get hold of it. Damsgaard gets it back to Sharda, and now there's a chance for Brentford to break, and it's led by Yarmuluk, who carries the ball so well. Out to the left he goes. Thiago trying to get on the end of it, but the pass into Thiago is just a little bit too far in front of him, and Mavropanos' clearance comes off of Thiago. It goes out for a throw-in over on the far side. Two Brentford changes, and Damsgaard is coming off, which is a little bit of a surprise. On comes Vitaly Janalt, and the other change is Dongo Ouattara being replaced by Keane Lewis Potter, who's about to come on. He's been on the bench for the last 3 Premier League games, including tonight, having started the previous 40 matches for Brentford.
Well, I mean, if we're thinking, I don't know if those guys have both been away on international, probably, but the Damsgaard one surprises me because he looks so comfortable. He's the one who's just making things happen for them, but maybe they're thinking, 75 minutes, they don't need to score again. Let's make sure defensively we're really sound. Ouattara's put a hell of a shift in. He has tired a bit second half. He was better in the first half than he's been in the second, but that's the advantage of having a good squad, I suppose.
It wasn't evident in the first half, but everything is a lot tighter with Brentford. Its operations shut down. They're shooting less, but they're conceding fewer shots over the course of the season so far. It's been about staying in games, but this might be about staying in front in a game, and they've done that very well so far this campaign when needed to, and to get their first away win of the season will be a real feather in the cap of the manager Keith Andrews, having lost all of their previous 3. And this is a team that could do with a bit of help on the road. Their travel sickness, which had been alleviated under Thomas Frank, has just crept back in again. Here is Thiago holding the ball up after a good leap from Sharda. He helps it to Aya. Aya does well, gets a tackle which he thinks is a foul. The referee says play on because Brentford have got the ball. Henderson has it, then kicks it out of play because they want treatment for Christopher Aya. The medical staff about to come on. Tomorrow night on Talksport, Newcastle take on Benfica. It's live on Talksport. We're really looking forward to this game. It's going to be absolutely huge. The atmosphere is going to be brilliant, and we can't wait. Eddie Howe been speaking about Jose Mourinho today, saying how much he admires him and pointing to his great achievements. Mourinho worked under Bobby Robson, the former England manager, in his time at Sporting Lisbon, Porto and Barcelona. He was a translator, became a coach and learned all about the folklore of Newcastle. Called himself a mini magpie at one stage. Frankfurt against Liverpool is Wednesday night's offering from the Champions League. And Thursday night we've got 3 games from the Europa and Conference League, which is impressive. And Jose Mourinho was signing autographs for Newcastle fans earlier in the day. Such as his popularity everywhere. By the way, the PGMO have been in touch with us about Somerville, and you know the double yellow card, which he didn't get. purely down to the referee's judgment. Believe he's taken it as just one ongoing incident, not one that VAR could get involved in, obviously, because it was a second yellow. So that's the view of the PGM. Crikey, we need to do something to up this atmosphere in this stadium, don't we? I mean, if this was your place of work, if this was your home ground, and you were the captain of this team, would you be getting into the owners and saying, look, I don't know what you got to do, but you got to do something because this ain't working?
I don't think you ever get to a point, or I never did, where you start dictating to the owners what they should and shouldn't do. But I think you would be...
You would be consulted, though.
Yeah, but then you could have some opinions. I think playing in a stadium like this, you need to be a hell of a good side to get it going constantly, because of it's so far away from the pitch and so used to what these West Ham fans like and enjoy. And the players, because they're not the best squad or best team in the world, teams come here and it's easy, it's comfortable, the pitch is huge. There's not that intimidating atmosphere when you go to certain other places where you feel like the fans are on top of you more and you hear every word. It's so comfortable for the away teams. They always look really comfortable.
Kayode back to Yarmulke. They're in the advanced right position here into Thiago. Thiago shoots at goal. It's parried by Areola. Comes back out to the edge of the area, and Brentford win the second ball once again. It's up to Yarmulke. Little flick. He's playing with confidence now. Kayode tries to play it down the side and return it to him. Diouf gets fouled from behind. It's an unnecessary challenge from Yarmulke, and it's a free kick in the left full-back position for West Ham United. 12 to go, 1-0 to Brentford.
Well, the biggest problem Brentford have got right now is that for 79 minutes, maybe apart from the first 5, it's been too easy for them.
Oh, yeah.
And when that happens, sometimes you can switch off just for a minute. Set play, silly back pass, whatever. And the manager, I'm sure he'll be telling them, focus, concentrate. Because this would be a big evening. We talked about the pressure on West Ham and what they need, but it's also a big evening for Brentford and Keith Andrews.
Absolutely massive for them. They've lost at Sunderland, they've lost at Forest, they've looked second best at Fulham. And games like that, losing them away from home, don't bode well for the rest of the season. But to come here and get 3 points, it makes it a very different start to the season. They go above Newcastle United into 13th position with a victory here tonight. That will be a welcome event.
Henderson's been terrific, I've got to say as well. He really has.
Do you know what? He's settled in so seamlessly to Brentford.
Well, it was a brilliant bit of business, because replacing Norgaard's no mean feat. He was so influential for this team. We saw Brentford a lot last season.
Yeah.
He captain, passer, good defensively, good leader. Henderson's come in and just taken that role. He's done it so well. And it's a nice little partnership he's forming with Yarmulke.
Well, Yarmulke's got loads of legs as well, hasn't he? And he gets hold of the ball and he... Isn't that a phrase you use? He's got legs.
Yeah, no, I'm
just trying to pick a fight.
Just trying to
trying to spice it up.
Yeah, exactly.
Trying to spice it up because nothing's happening and everyone else has gone home and we're probably the last 2 people left here. Well,
I always feel it can't always work. Again, here we go.
Here's a chance for Bowen to spin down the outside and try and drag West Ham back into this game. Across goes Iron, blocks the attempted cross, and he stumbles out of the pitch. It goes out for a throw, and actually came off Bowen last, according to the referee and the assistant on the far side.
I think that might be Iron. If he's got cramp, he deserves to have cramp because he hasn't stopped. If it is him, we'll see now in a replay, I'm sure.
He's down holding his feet.
I was going to say, when you get down to the last 7-8 minutes of a game and you're losing, especially at home, I never understand why teams don't go man for man all over the pitch. Just go man for man everywhere. And if you lose it, go the other way.
Just looking at shots from outside the stadium, and there's lots of people leaving and heading towards the Tube. They've seen enough. And they might, if they stay, see an equalising goal, but... They haven't really threatened much in the second half. I don't think they've had a shot on target in the second half.
I can't think of one.
It's been... No shot on target in the second half for West Ham United, who are trying to get back into a game, remember. They made 3 changes at half-time. They've made 5 changes in all now.
Well, they've looked less vulnerable.
They've looked less vulnerable,
that's all
but
they've
offered nothing going forward. Apart from the odd bit from Bowen, maybe. and Somerville running at the defence, but they've made wrong choices when they've got into those positions.
I'm amazed Callum Wilson hasn't come on. I know he can't now, but I mean previously.
Yeah. I don't think you're the only one. There'll be West Ham fans ringing Jamie O'Hara tonight. 03717223344. Jason Cundy, the sports bar open for business from 10 o'clock tonight. The boys will take your calls, your voice notes on WhatsApp. 03717223344. You can WhatsApp that number, you can ring that number, you can voice note that number. They'll take everything. Sports bar open for business when we finish here. And we should finish in the next 8 or 9 minutes. There will be a delay. There was a lot of added time at the end of the first half. There'll probably be... the ball in play today has been poor, hasn't it? I mean, I don't even think we've got up to 45 minutes yet, have we? We've played, 44 minutes, 58 seconds of 90 minutes of play so far, although the clock over the way to our right says 83 because we had 7 minutes of added time at the end of the first half. Here is Areola from the edge of his penalty area, kicking it long. Aya goes up for a header with Bowen, glances it out for a throw-in halfway in Salvation territory. Ironic cheers from those left on the far side. The Billy Bond stand, because the decision has gone West Ham's way. It's with Wan-Bissaka now, throwing the ball into the chest of Bowen. It does go off him this time and out for a throw-in to Brentford. Remember, Brentford had a second goal ruled out for a tight offside that semi-automated offside technology wasn't available for. And that was a situation that could have been curtains for Nuno Espirito Santo. It could have actually lifted West Ham and propelled them forward in the second half. Is that a foul throw over on the far side? Oh dear. Well, there's a foul throw, or was it? Or it might have been a foul as the ball came in from the throw, because Mavropanos has done something to the inside of his leg and he's gone down. Doesn't look particularly comfortable. 85 minutes on the clock now. Oof. He's slowly, gingerly getting to his feet. I think it is going to be a free kick actually to...
he looks like he's done something there, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's sort of rabbit hopped off the pitch. He's jumping on his bum off the side of the pitch.
Holding his hamstring, I think.
That's a real problem. He's got a real issue there as Mavropanos, yeah. His hamstring has gone, and that's another problem for Nuno Espirito Santo to deal with. Here's Somerville coming forward. Remember, they've used all 5 of their substitutes, so they have no more replacements. Here is Yarmulke picking the ball up. They've got now a 2-man advantage because Somerville is down as well, and Brentford are coming forward, and they've got Keane Lewis-Potter on the ball. His left-footed shot towards the far corner is a whisker away from making it 2. It was a brilliant driving run from Keane Lewis-Potter, who shuffled in on his left foot from 20 yards out. He drove the ball towards the far corner, and he was inches away from seeing it nestle into the top corner of the net.
Right things to do. It was on, and he's capable. Comes inside, he sees the gap. Oh, that's close. There's Somerville down. You've got Mavropanos on the far side with a hamstring pull by the looks of it. Somerville's up, he's okay, so they've got 10 at least. I mean, if I'm Mavropanos, unless he's ruptured it, get yourself on and at least stand and occupy somebody up front and do something.
You're listening to West Ham, Neil Brentford 1 on Talksport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Here for it, book at enterprise.co.uk.
Sorry, Sam. To be fair to him, does look pretty bad.
It's bad. I don't think it's one he's going to be able to.
I don't mean run off. I just mean occupy. You know, sometimes you can come on and stand there.
Yeah, but I don't think he can even do that.
No, he can't.
He can't walk.
No, I'll take that back.
And he's being helped, nursed round the pitch. Free kick to Brentford inside the centre circle, and their second half performance has not been as attacking as their first, but they racked up so many chances in that first they could have been out of sight by half time.
Managed the game well though.
Excellently, really well. Made substitutions at just the right time, I think, as well. Here is Henderson with the delivery from the centre circle into the box. It's headed down. It comes to Bowen. Aya's going to keep it alive inside the West Ham penalty area. Bowen comes across again and takes it forward. Tries to clear it. It's blocked by Collins over on the far left-hand side of the field. He bounces the ball off his knee and out for a goal kick away to our right-hand side. This is Talksport.
I mean, the thing is with this Brentford performance, there's an argument for 7 or 8 of them you could give man of the match to. That's how good it's been as a tour. I know they're playing against a poor West Ham side, but the levels for them, I mean, this is the bar now that they've set themselves. They had the United win, of course, where they were really pleased with that at home, but away from home, they've been poor, and this has really set a different level of expectancy from themselves and the manager. It's great for the team going forward because they can use this as a benchmark and really push on.
They look really well structured tonight. They look well structured in the game against Manchester United just before the international break, which is live on Talksport the week before the international break. And they were good against Manchester City in large parts as well, denied them lots of chances and only lost by a goal to nil. And they've come here tonight knowing that West Ham are in a bad place, and they have, for the large part of it, sort of eked West Ham or... Oh, that's a foul throw over on the far side? No, he's gone too far up the pitch. He's going to be sent back further down the touchline. But they've stopped West Ham from being able to do any real damage to them at all. They've denied them many chances at all. They haven't allowed too many shots on their goal. And they've created a lot, and they'll be a little bit disappointed not to have scored more goals. Mavropanos, by the way, has been picked up by a buggy over on the far side and driven back round on the claret carpet because he is that badly injured. So he's going to be out for quite some time. Here is Collins. Oh, and caught short there was Henderson, and Somerville was getting away. That's going to be a yellow card, and he had to take that yellow card because Somerville might have stolen in and had an opportunity to equalise for West Ham in the final minute and a half of the game.
Well, he's cramped up Henderson, and that's fair enough because he's ran himself into the ground. But that's a poor ball. I was complimenting Collins before. He's just got to... That's the confidence and cockiness that comes with an easy game sometimes. He's had a touch, he's had a second touch, he's chopped inside, and then he's give one to Henderson without seeing Somerville come behind and just rob him there of the ball. It's just that little bit of... I don't know what the
concentration,
word is.
Because you've given a free kick away now, 10 yards outside your penalty area in the final minute of the game, which you've completely bossed, and it's only 1-0. They've made the change. On comes Jensen, and off comes Henderson, who gets a standing ovation from the Brentford supporters away to our right. And everyone's got to be concentrated here because they've changed the makeup of the defence at this set piece. And Paquetá is standing over it. He sends the ball to the far post. It's Thiago away. He glances it out to the far edge of the pitch, and it goes out for a throw-in. And away for a West Ham ball down by the corner flag. 4 minutes of added time at the end of the 90 are going to be added on by the referee here. Wan-Bissaka thinking about taking a long throw. Oh no, that's the third player who's been
not
told
in a rush
to take the throw in. It's Malik Diouf who's going to launch it in stoppage time. And he sends the ball into the near post. It's picked on by Todibo. It's away by Van den Berg. Comes out as far as Wan-Bissaka, who's encouraged to shoot. It's whipped back in by Diouf. It's headed away. It comes back to Paquetá. And that goes out by the corner flag after a wild swing from the Brazilian. And that sort of sums up his and West Ham United's night. It goes behind and away for a goal kick. It remains 1-0 to Brentford. And the stadium sees a couple more bodies trickle down the exits.
Yeah, it's a wild volley from Paquetá, and as you rightly said, Sums are evening up a bit. It's been a really woeful performance. I mean, he did try and make the changes at half-time, and they've been better defensively because they were all over the place first half, but they haven't been able to penetrate this back line of Brentford. They've really not managed to create anything but a half chance in this second half, and the big question mark for me is, okay, the first half's gone badly, you've made some changes, you need a goal threat. Why is Callum Wilson not brought onto the pitch? That's probably the biggest conundrum I'm looking at with this West Ham team tonight.
Here is Bowen down the right-hand side, getting into the box. The cross deflects off Van den Berg, and Coyote hesitates slightly. Somerville was coming in at the edge of the 6-yard box, and it's hacked away. This is the danger for Brentford, though. And Keith Andrews is getting a little bit irate down in front of us because he wants his team just to up their levels a little bit here because they're in stoppage time. They're in the second minute of it. And to concede a goal now would be criminal, bearing in mind they've absolutely bossed this game. But anything is possible in the Premier League. Late drama is its trademark. Is there more here for West Ham? Diouf with a long throw. It's into the near post. There's a header away. It's collected by Yarmouk, and he volleys the ball over his head and into the centre circle and out of harm's way. Back it comes again from Wan-Bissaka. West Ham about to equal their worst ever start. Their worst ever start was 1932, 1973, 1988. Those pointed to really difficult, tricky seasons, and it's hard to see how they pull this out of the fire, where they get their performances from. They've got big games, tough games to come. All games in the Premier League are tough, especially at this stage of the season when you are desperate for respite. Leeds United Friday night live on Talksport, Newcastle at home, Burnley at home, Bournemouth away, and then Liverpool at home. There's some fixtures that don't say inviting on the label.
Any fixture when you're playing at home, this pouring of crowd are on you like they have been, and rightly so tonight, by the way. The fixtures just get harder. The pressure builds every time you play.
93rd minute. Here is Paquetá with the free kick, sending it forward. It's headed down and away by Brentford, who hack it anywhere now. They want to just get over the line, take their 3 points, get their first away win of the season, put those defeats at Sunderland and Fulham behind them. Thrown into Paquetá again, who just helps it forward into the air. It's away
offside by
Collins, but the offside flag was up against Marshall anyway. Hasn't really had an impact on the game, and it begs the question again, why not use an experienced man like Callum Wilson? You know, if you're
not just experienced, big, strong, experienced, and can score at this level. It's a bizarre one. Unless he's had if there's a problem or a row or a contentious issue, then why have you got him on the bench in the first place?
Well, Ward-Prowse creates loads of chances. Wilson's not a prolific goal scorer, we know at the moment, because he hasn't played too much football, but has been. Here's King Lewis Potter round the back into the penalty area, setting it back towards the penalty spot, slammed into the net by Matthias Jensen. It's 2-0, and rudderless and weak West Ham United have got just what they've deserved. It's a super goal from Brentford, who have been super tonight. They've been absolutely superb. Their football's been good, their organisation has been better, and West Ham have been all over the place.
Well, there was never any doubt when it fell to Jensen. We come on, didn't he, and scored more or less with his first touch, I think, against Manchester United. I might be wrong with that, but he came on and scored. And the composure he showed just to take the touch and whip it into the top corner. But great play down this left-hand side. Lewis Potter there, pull back. I've got to give Thiago a mention as well there, because the strength he showed just to nudge Diouf out the way. You know, we're talking about Callum Wilson and the focal point of the line. He's done that so well tonight. He really has. They deserve it. They deserve the second goal.
Absolutely. It is actually still not enough really for Keith Andrews. He probably thinks they should have more, but he will take the 3 points. He'll take the 2 goals. He celebrates on the touchline. A smile as wide as the Olympic Park, because he knows that that's a crucial victory. Well, no wonder they are protesting, no wonder they are booing. West Ham's start to the season, for the first time in their history, includes 4 successive home league defeats. There's no happy housewarming for Nuno Espirito Santo. The last time West Ham were anywhere near this bad at the start of a season, they ended up being relegated, and they are certainly in the mix this time around. 4 points from 8 games, second bottom, 3 from safety. No wonder it is toxic around here. There's hardly a West Ham fan still in the stadium. It's not on Nuno, but his start to home life in East London has not gone well. Whereas Keith Andrews, well, he is settling in nicely to that bus stop in Hounslow. It's all been rather too comfortable for his team tonight. West Ham 0, Brentford 2.
Well, West Ham are not United. The fans that did bother to come probably can't believe how bad that was. The worst performance from them in a long, long while. 4 home games, 4 home defeats, and it's not a home. It's not a home of football. It's not West Ham's home. The fans don't like it. The players can't play in it. Nuno went onto the pitch at the end and walked off, puffed out his cheeks as if to say, I've got a huge job on here. This is going to be next to impossible. They were absolutely dominated by Brentford tonight. Absolutely should have been 5 or 6-0. They doubled their lead right at the end, but before that it was a 1-0 hammering. Their XG was 6 times bigger than West Ham's. 3 times as many shots for Brentford. 6 times as many on target. They were so superior to West Ham, and this was a side, Brentford, who had lost every away game so far this season. Danny Murphy, how do you begin to explain how bad West Ham United were?
I didn't expect that. The lack of confidence, the lack of belief. There was too many players out there who weren't quite sure on what they were doing or the role they'd been given. Now, I understand the manager making certain decisions at the beginning of the game, depending on players flying away and coming back with knocks and all that. We always see this after international breaks. But the obvious strength of Brentford is real pace in wide areas. And he had two fullbacks on the bench who he brought on at half-time. So he recognised the mistake. But the reason he didn't bring Callum Wilson on, I'm baffled by. Because, yes, again, make the decision, play two number 10s, false 9s. Maybe you're going to cause Brentford a different problem, but it didn't work. Bring your experienced guys on who know how to do the job. And he brought a young lad on up front who couldn't make an impact.
Well, a couple of weeks ago at Arsenal, and listen, there's no disgrace in losing to Arsenal. They're the best team in the country at the moment. But he did the same. With half an hour to go, brought on Callum Marshall and Callum Wilson was sitting there. And I made a joke about how he's told Callum to warm up and the wrong one's gone on. Since found out, it's a pay-as-you-play deal. OK, so he's on a low basic, Callum Wilson, and the big money is based on appearance and performance. So it's a pay-as-you-play, and he isn't playing.
Well, let's hope to God that's nothing to do with it, because I've heard of that before in my day. I didn't know that was still good. That's ridiculous, because if you bring him, this team needs to stay in the division. It's going to be cheaper putting him out on the pitch and paying him if he scores you some goals and ruffles up defenders, you know, compared to losing the money of going out to the Premier League.
Or if you think, well, if you're thinking pay as you play because he's had an injury record, why are you signing him? It makes no sense, does it?
No, and look, that is as bad as you'll see, I think, from West Ham this season.
Do you think it won't get any worse?
No, I don't think it can. I think he's learning a lot about his players very, very quickly. I think he probably thought some of those he started tonight were better than they were. And it might be a blessing for him to see really quickly how some of them aren't up to that level. He's got to find a team quickly that he can settle on and trust in and get to at least to a place where they're harder to play against and harder to beat. He's got a big job on his hands, but I won't judge him just yet. That tonight, he made some mistakes, he recognised them, and he couldn't change the momentum of the game. But let's give Brentford some credit at the end of this, because that's as good a Brentford performance as I've seen this season. Well organised, super fit, well disciplined, threat all over the pitch. Well done, Keith Andrews.
Danny, it's the first time I've seen Brentford this season. I've got no doubts they're staying up because of the organisation, and those players are clearly playing for him.
Yep.
And listen, we're going to get on to player of the match very shortly, and you're right. In commentary you said there's a number of contenders. So I'll tell you what we'll do that right now. Let's pick our man of the match with Enterprise Rent-A-Car.
The Here For It hero on Talksport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever it is, we're here for it.
So there are a number of contenders, but who are you going for?
Well, I won't go through all the candidates, be here all night. I'm going to go for Damsgaard, because the more I look at the more I watch the game, and the more dominant Brentford were becoming was because of him and his intelligence. And actually, most of the chances had him involved in the build-up at some point. Even the goal that got disallowed, he was the one that got the pass through. So many times he makes the right decision to get them into the right areas of the pitch. But there was some terrific performances. I mean, it's funny because the manager now is going to watch that, see them play at this level and expect it all the time. They won't play that. They'll probably win games playing worse than that this season. But he's got a lot of good players there, who, as you rightly say, and it's really key, forget tactics, they're all at it for him. Henderson, terrific. Ayer, left back. 6 foot, what is he, 6'2", 6'3", bombing forward, left back, making things happen. Collins, so many performances, just a superb performance.
Can I just mention Jordan Henderson, because around the England inclusion of Henderson in the squad, there's a lot of controversy. A lot of fans are, why is Henderson in there? And we've seen why tonight. Yeah, but we've seen why tonight.
Yeah,
surely. I mean, he's still cutting it at Premier League level.
Playing like that, with that level of physical, he's still able to do it physically at this level like that, and influence games and calm games down and influence those around him. Yeah, I completely see it.
But he was close. But it's Damsgaard who gets our Here For It hero, man of the match from tonight's game with Enterprise Rent-A-Car.